It's the cold hard truth. Everyone really want to know what's going on with her show. Just get on the air and you will know it's Sandra. The queen of the mile road is here, helping people from everywhere. Get on the phone and you will hear Sandra. Now she will tell you how it goes, but don't you ever step on her toes, cause you will hear the cold hard truth from Sandra. They say she's the hero in town, helping people from all around. You get a call, your money is found, it's Sandra. Some will call her late at night just to say that there is a fight, and she will not just leave it alone. She'll get up and call on the phone, and when politics starts on her show, everyone really wants to know the way the things will really go with Sandra. And some will start to criticize, get on the show and tell pure lies, but soon they will realize it's Sandra. And when they start to argue again, she'll pull the heads to the wind, and soon you will be a friend with Sandra. Cause every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. Cause every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra. Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra.
All right, folks. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. How is everybody doing this beautiful Tuesday morning? Hope that you guys are well. I'm going to quickly send out the links to everybody. I'm still getting people to join that channel because guess what? Some of you are still like, Sandy, show me how to do it. Not a problem. I got you. So, welcome. Welcome to one and welcome to all. Hope you guys had a wonderful day yesterday. We got lots on the agenda for you today, including our good friends from Health City, Cayman Islands. We're going to be talking about something that's pretty important. Ooh, honey child, I've been watching this number recently, and it's something that we all have to be very, very cautious with. So we've got Shamari in the house. Let's go ahead and say buenos dias. Good morning to Senor Shamari.
Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Did anybody get fired yet?
Well, see, that's a very good question. Very good question. See, I have my lovely
Oh,
water mug that you and Marlon were so kind to pick out and buy and share with me. I take it everywhere with me. You know,
uh,
even when I'm walking around, people are like, "Oh, you're still walking with that after the Dolphins lost again." So we had a horrible loss to
oh,
another team that isn't that good.
oh,
So I'm hoping today is Tuesday, so I'm watching my notifications to see if the general manager and coach have been fired as yet. But now is
mm,
time. Now is time to gut it and start over, trade some players, get some picks, and let's start over. This general manager has been around for the last decade or a little bit more than a decade, and we've had
mhm,
two winning seasons in that decade and no playoff wins.
mm.
We have the second longest drought of any NFL team
Oh
in
no!
regard to the length of time between playoff wins. So,
Wow.
we definitely need to. to restart, to gut it and restart. We have mold in the building. Gut it all and restart. So,
My goodness. No
but
bueno, no bueno.
but you see, there's always a silver lining. So I'm in two fantasy football teams, leagues, and I won both of those games yesterday
Okay.
in the fantasy football. So
Yeah.
not real life,
So in other words,
fantasy.
your pretend life is better than your real life. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, yeah, in football, yeah, yeah, it goes so. And
Uh,
question for you, Sandy. When did you get? I mean, I've been hearing the new song, but I think I must have missed when you outlined the fact that you have a new song for your show.
well, you know what? I've had it for quite some time. K-Man has some really amazing artists. And of course, Mr. Berman Scott he did the
Definitely.
other song for me. And he did
Right?
this country song as well. And
Oh, okay.
I love the other one so much that I wasn't really playing this one. And then lately I kind of switched to this one to change it up a little bit, but they're both
Oh,
amazing.
yeah, they're
Uh,
both amazing.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
So, I love a little country every once in a while, get your foot tapping and that sort of thing. So yeah, here we are. So this is pretty cool. But
Right.
yeah, big shout out to Berman Scott and Cayman Brack. I got to go to the Brack soon because I've got to interview him and a few other people. But yes, so we're here today to talk with Dr. Ravi about cholesterol. This is one of
Okay.
those things. Oh,
The,
Shamari, as you
the
get older,
silent
the
the
number goes up,
silent killer,
man.
right? The
Yeah.
silent killer kills 4.4 million people a year, and people don't even realize. And we are so fortunate to have, and you would know of Dr. Ravi
Oh
Kishore.
yes, yes, yes.
He has been with us since day one. He's our chief interventional cardiologist and electrophysiologist, and
Mm,
someday he'll definitely come on to talk about electrophysiology because I know that's a passion
mhm,
of his, and that's why you see him smiling now. He's lighting up.
oh,
But Dr. Ravi was actually and still is one of Dr. Shetty's right hand men. So when Dr.
mhm,
Shetty had to entrust a new project that was so important to him as well as to the side of the world, Dr. Ravi
mhm,
was handpicked as one of the senior, mature doctors within the field. He has over
mhm,
2 decades of
mhm,
experience when it comes to cardiology and electrophysiology. His expertise is from clinical arrhythmia research, resistant hypertension, cardiac MRI, CAD prevention, ablation
mhm.
of SPP and VT, and the list goes on. But we're just so happy to have Dr. Ravi with us. And everyone knows of Dr. Ravi. The interesting thing is, I see a lot of my teachers from my prior life in high school and middle school, and they'll say, "Hey, Shamari," and before they'll ask about my kids, they'll ask, "How's Dr. Ravi doing?"
Oh my
I
goodness.
said, Dr. Ravi's great. Dr. Ravi's great. And then they'll say, okay, how are the kids doing? So Dr. Ravi is beloved within the community and does such a great job, has such a great bedside manner. They all love Dr. Ravi. How are you doing, good sir?
All good, all good. You're too flattering, Shamari. I enjoyed the football discussion more, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Well,
well, we don't want to discuss football right now. Dolphins are horrible.
some tough times, some tough times. But Dr. Ravi, thank you so much for
No.
being here this morning. Of course, this is an amazing opportunity for us to talk about what I think is a very, very important topic: cholesterol. We kind of used to hear a lot about it, and then we, kind of, I think, put it in the back burner. But it's
Yes,
still critical, right? So we're going to talk
absolutely.
about it. Yeah. The first question I have is, what exactly is cholesterol?
Well, cholesterol is fundamentally it's a part of it's one of the biochemical ingredients of the body fat to make it very simple, and it's a very important component of the metabolic system of the entire body, whether you take brain or whether you take heart, the vascular, the blood vessels. So it's a component of it's a normal, natural, and very important ingredient of the human body. The only problem is when something uh, too much of a good thing is also not good, right? So it's a J
Mm-hmm.
curve. So that's how it's a double-edged sword. When when there's too much of cholesterol, it can lead to problems. And what we need to understand is what is that level of cholesterol at which you have problems, what's the type of cholesterol which produces problems, etc. So cholesterol is a very broad term for that,
Mm-hmm.
uh, for the lipids in the body.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Well, we're going to delve into some of the details really about why cholesterol is important. And in fact, why this is one of those numbers that you should be monitoring. I was reading recently, just I think this past week, that pretty much like 97% of people who have a coronary event, like a heart attack or even a stroke, um, had they been watching their numbers, they would have seen an increase in different numbers. One is cholesterol, one is your glucose level, your, as we call it, sugar, and your blood pressure. So there's certain markers when it comes to health that are really, really important. And apparently, what the research now is showing, Dr. Ravi, and you can tell me, if the research is correct, but it's not even that you're like in the high range, it's that these numbers are elevating. So if you see an increase in them, you need to know that, you need to make some modification in terms of your diet and exercise. Is that what you're finding, is that, people might not have numbers off the chart, but as those numbers increase, your risk increases as well?
Yeah, so I think it's very important to understand the number in the context of the overall risk. So, as you
Mhm,
very rightly pointed out, the cardiac risk, or the what we call as, we don't really call it as cardiac risk now, we call it as ASCVD risk, which is atherosclerotic heart cardiovascular disease. So,
mhm,
just to give you a simple perspective, it's a continuum, the entire system from the heart to the blood supply, blood vessels coming out of the heart, going to the brain, going to the kidney. It's all a one continuous system of highways. So the highways and side roads, the side roads going to each organ, supplying blood, and the
mhm,
highway transmits the blood to each of those side roads. But all these highways and the side roads are layered with the wall, which contains the fat. And this fat is largely made up of so-called the bad cholesterol. But having said that, the risk is determined not just by the cholesterol, but the entire body milieu, which is
mhm,
impacted by high blood pressure, smoking, diabetes, and very, very importantly, which is under recognized, is the family history. I mean, if you have a strong family history of strokes and heart
mhm,
attacks, well, you can, it is likely to add to it's an additive risk. It's one plus
mhm,
one doesn't become two, but one plus one can become three. you know
mhm,
you understand what I mean,
mhm, mhm,
figuratively. So that's how you have to understand. Again, one size doesn't fit all. For example, there may be two people, the broad term, the LDL cholesterol is the bad cholesterol, all of us know that. So one person may have a LDL cholesterol of 100, the other person may have an LDL cholesterol of 200. The person
mhm,
with the LDL cholesterol of 100 can have a heart attack rather than the person at 200.
mhm,
So it's a very complex interplay between various factors, which
mhm.
leads to the development of blockages in the heart vessels or the brain vessels, which lead to heart attacks and strokes or high blood pressure, for example.
Wow. Okay. So it's not just as simple as looking at the strict numbers. You've got to take sort of a more holistic approach to it. So
Yes.
very, very interesting. Now, I've known about cholesterol since I was in university because I had a friend that I went to. This would have been mid 90s, I guess. I went to, they used to have these little health center pop-ups in the mall and they took cholesterol. And mine was like back in the day, doc, it was really, really good. Like 120, maybe 130. They're like, oh, you're great. You're young. Everything's great. But my friend who was about 15 years older, had cholesterol that was well over 300. And I want to say that the nurse who took it and got the results was so shocked at the number that she said, "Oh my God, you've got to do something right now to bring this down." And back in those days, we've learned a lot since then about cholesterol and different elements of it. But she even said, "Oh, you should give blood," because at the time they thought that giving blood helped to take the cholesterol out of your body. And so that would help. I think now we know that that isn't really something that's going to impact your cholesterol numbers at all. But there are some people who have a hereditary, and this is kind of what we learned about him, is there were multiple, as you say, people in the family, especially the men, who had died relatively young of coronary disease or just a massive heart attack. And in fact, a couple years after that, his dad just died, early 60s, of a massive heart attack. So this is some of the stuff that people really need to pay attention to, because that family history can tell you so much in conjunction with the numbers.
Yes, as I've said, that condition. What you alluded to is called as primary hypercholesterolemia, which is transmitted genetically, and it can lead to premature heart attacks, etc. And very young people have heart attacks and strokes as a consequence of this. It's repeated heart attacks. So, I mean, this is when you have a person who has a heart attack early in age, we do screen for this condition. It's very important to identify it early and then treat it very aggressively to prevent future events, and also the progeny are screened and managed appropriately.
Because the truth of the matter is, if you're relatively young, you may not be thinking about, "Oh, I need to get my cholesterol checked," right?
Yes, always. Everybody thinks, "Oh, it's not going to happen to me."
Yeah. All right. So, folks, if you're just joining the program, we are talking Medical Rundown Tuesdays with the good folks over at Health City Cayman Islands. We have Dr. Ravi in the studio, and of course, Shamari Scott is here with us as well. And we're talking about really cholesterol, and we're going to get into some of the details of the good versus the bad, the ratio, and what all of this stuff means. Dr. Ravi is unraveling it for us to make it uncomplicated. So, the body actually produces cholesterol. Now, can you impact the cholesterol that the body produces?
Well, see, the body production is governed by the enzymes, which are in turn governed by genetically. So the intrinsic production of the cholesterol cannot be impacted by any dietary measures. Even if you stop eating all the cholesterol, all the fat in the world, people who have a genetic predisposition to producing high cholesterol, they continue to do the same thing. So it is just that what we call as an environmental reasons for or habitual reasons for increased lipids, can only impact it partially. It can impact the triglycerides significantly, what you consume, but the cholesterol is not really too much impacted. But having said that, it doesn't mean you should not control the saturated fat intake of the diet. So what is going to be produced in the body will only have to be managed by medications rather than extraneous dietary interventions or lifestyle interventions. But lifestyle interventions and dietary interventions are very, very important for the overall management of the rest of the metabolic milieu, which also impacts cholesterol indirectly. I hope I'm clear.
A little bit muddy and a little bit clear. So let me just see if I can understand this. So you're saying that if you have a genetic disposition, there's probably little you can do about that in terms of the diet, but there's other components of the numbers that we look at that are impacted by diet, especially dietary fat, that you should watch.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I got you. All right. We're going to make sure we understand this.
So a lot of people refuse to take medications, telling that, no, I'll manage my diet. I'll start running. I'll start exercising. but unfortunately, they don't impact the level what you imagine can happen. Of course, I mean, if your diet is so poor that you are just having saturated fat whole day, there will be impact on your numbers, but the significant impact is only going to come with drugs, which can impact the metabolic pathway.
Mm, okay. All right. So incredibly interesting. All right. So the body produces its own, and then you have another source, which is basically animal-based foods. So that would be any animal-based food, whether it's pork, chicken, fish included. Does fish impact cholesterol?
It's basically saturated fat. I mean, you
Uh-huh.
have to look at saturated fat. There are some fish, of course, which are rich in saturated fats. So
Mm-hmm.
there are different. So it is again, it's not just the fat intake, the kind of fat you take. For example, from lard, butter. There it's a bad fat.
Mm,
So this can dominantly raise the triglycerides
mm-hmm.
more than the cholesterol. Triglycerides is another type of fat which is measured when you check your lipid panel. You'll see that there is a total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, and triglycerides, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you take more saturated fat, you are likely to increase the triglycerides and the VLDL cholesterol rather
Mm-hmm.
than the LDL cholesterol per se. LDL cholesterol will be indirectly impacted, but not
Right.
directly.
Mm, okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. So, and there's some fats. I mean, there's a whole debate now that the sugar is worse for you than the fat. But I think everything probably moderation is the best way to look at this.
Yes.
But there's some fats that are considered good fats, as you mentioned. There are fish that are fatty, like this would be salmon, for example, is considered a fatty, oily fish. But that's the kind that's actually good for you. So you're encouraged to eat salmon. I think mackerel falls into the same category as well.
Yeah, they contain what we call as polyunsaturated fatty acids, which are a good type of lipids in terms of the component of that plaque. What I was talking to you, which layers the
Mhm.
vascular walls. So these are a healthier kind of fats which you are encouraged to consume, provided it's not impacting your weight. I mean, if you're overweight, even that is not good for you.
Oh, okay. I see. Interesting. All right. Taking some notes in my little journal here today because, folks, I am learning. All right. So there's several different types of cholesterol. We probably have heard that there's good cholesterol, there's bad cholesterol. So the LDL, which is the low density lipoprotein, is considered the bad cholesterol, right? And high levels of that can cause plaque buildup in the arteries, leading to blockages and heart attack. Now, I'm trying to remember how this goes. So exercise impacts one and then diet impacts the other one. Remind me of which one is impacted by exercise. I think it's the bad cholesterol that comes down when you exercise.
So again, I don't want to complicate the general thinking, the muddle the
Yes.
general thinking. The concept of so-called good cholesterol, the HDL cholesterol, is actually uh, coming down. Uh, we used to think earlier that HDL cholesterol is a good cholesterol, and if the levels are high, it indicates a very good health status.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true anymore because they tried to design medications which will increase the HDL cholesterol.
Mm-hmm.
And contrary to thinking, they never found any improved cardiovascular mortality or morbidity in these patients. So
Mm-hmm.
the production of that drug was stopped completely, and nobody's even talking about it. But
Mm-hmm.
but from time immemorial, it's been stuck in the minds of people, and in fact, a lot of physicians too still take it as a good cholesterol. Maybe I think in one ways we use it to encourage people. Your HDL cholesterol is improving, so your health is improving. So it's also said to increase with exercise and not smoking, etc. But
Mm-hmm.
actually, that's an indirect impact because your triglycerides are becoming better. So it's complicated. I don't want to confuse the people, except that you don't rely so much on the so-called HDL numbers now as in
Mhm.
the past. But
Okay.
I think we can keep it at that and not confuse people any further.
Yes. Okay. But the more recent research has definitely proven that the triglycerides are extremely important to watch. Is that right?
Yes, yes, they're
Uh-huh.
very, very important in the sense that not as important as LDL cholesterol for the heart per se, but
Mhm.
very high levels of triglycerides are also bad for the heart, but for everything else, for pancreas and so many other issues. So it is a very important negative risk factor, triglycerides,
Mhm. Hmm.
maybe more than HDL.
Mhm. Mhm. Very good. Class is in session, folks. Make sure you're paying attention. Karen Bodden is paying attention. She says, "What about the inherited cholesterol that you inherit from your relatives?" So, Karen, we did kind of touch on this a little bit. And what percentage of the people would you say, Doc, are impacted by this hereditary factor? Where it's going to be probably very difficult for them. They're going to have to do medication to try to get it under control. But how many people really fall into that category versus lifestyle?
So, in the sense that there are really no global percentages available on that. I mean, you see, for that to have, you have to have a mass screening and then mass genetic screening. So, you really don't have data on that. We suspect hereditary link to high cholesterol when we see abnormally high cholesterol. For example, if you see an LDL cholesterol of more than
Mhm,
190 milligram per deciliter, it raises a red flag. Because
mhm,
normal people, even if you eat all the fat in the world, it cannot touch that kind of level. So when it touches more than 190, 200 people with 300, what your friend you were talking about, that is a serious red flag. It means that the factory mechanism in the liver, which is producing cholesterol, is overactive. And that
mhm,
overactivity is because of the genetically transmitted enzyme defects. So it is running amok. The production
mhm,
is running amok, and that's why high cholesterol is being produced. So
mhm,
the red flag is raised when you have a more than a certain level of high cholesterol, one, and two, the LDL cholesterol, and two, when you have people with a premature risk of a heart attack. You have seen people in 30s and 40s coming with a stroke or a heart attack, and you see a cholesterol level of 200, 250, and then it triggers the screening for genetic cholesterol. You do genetic testing for the hypercholesterolemia, and then you do a family screening and design the family tree for that.
mhm. Hmm. All right, Karen, good question. Very, very good question. Glad to see you guys are so engaged this morning. Global burden of cholesterol. So, of course, when we start to look at, the impact of this on health and, the cost of health, not just monetary cost, but obviously the cost of people's, wellness and coronary events such as heart attacks. High cholesterol causes, it says, 4.4 million deaths every single year. That's a lot. Yeah. Dr. Ravi,
Yes, it's a lot.
that's
It's a
a lot
lot.
of people.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of people. So the whole risk of cardiovascular, the heart attacks and strokes, it's all lumped together as a atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Is it's been proven for the last 4 or 5 decades. We had some very iconic studies called the Framingham study, which
Mhm,
actually established the link between cholesterol and the risk of heart attacks.
mhm,
So as the level of LDL cholesterol increases, the risk of stroke increases. It's a linear relationship. If you draw a graph link trying to correlate the level of cholesterol with respect to the level of heart disease burden, it's a linear graph. As the cholesterol level increases, the global burden increases. That's been beautifully proven by the Framingham study, basically.
mhm. Hmm. And again, the reason why we're even talking about this, because there's a direct correlation. It's a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke in both high and low income countries. So it impacts people across the world. And the World Health Organization estimates that about 39% of adults worldwide have elevated blood cholesterol. So that seems, again, like a rather significant number. So I'm supposing, we need to talk about, how do we get here? How is it that we have such an impact of high cholesterol around the world? And, I see this guy in the little picture on the screen I'm going to just let our radio listeners know. He's sitting there with a burger, a sugary drink, a pizza, and is that popcorn? I didn't think popcorn was so bad for you. Maybe he added some extra salt and butter on it, which makes it worse. But yeah, all of these things are considered really high cholesterol foods. So the probably number one risk factor is our diet. So let's talk about that, because that's one thing that we can control. It's a little bit challenging when you love food, but we can control it. So unhealthy diets that are high in saturated and trans fat, those are just a couple examples. Short of eating a salad every single day, Doc, is there a moderate road that we can take here? Does the 80-20 rule apply? Like, can I eat clean 80% of the time and then have a little treat 20%? Or should we be more restrictive with our diet?
So I think it's the what I tell all my patients is just moderate your consumption. There is that I think the simplest what people understand is a plate concept, where you just have quarter portions of each of the component, fat, protein, salad, etc. So it's just I think the only thing people are going to understand is to tell them to moderate their consumption of their fat foods. I mean, you have various types of diets. The most popular is what is called as the DASH diet. And you heard of the Mediterranean diet, the diet which is rich in vegetables, grains, fish, very less in red meats. So it's a $1 billion industry, the diet. You know that.
Yeah.
So you have, but unfortunately, that alone is not the solution. It's part of the counseling in terms of management of the whole lifestyle is what is important. And the picture you put on the slide is eating too much of these fats also increases your weight, which is a negative risk factor. So it's all additive. Everything comes together to produce the perfect storm of what we call as heart disease. It is not just one thing which puts in you. You have a lot of friends who have pretty freaky lifestyle, have a lot of alcohol, eat everything in the world, sleep less, and nothing ever happens to them, right? And you see some very healthy Joes who are strict with everything, and they have a heart attack. So it's very complicated, the interplay between health, lifestyle, and how do you manage these. So I guess in that sense, the genetics and families is also very important.
Yes, I was going to say
I
that.
think one of the worst things is the interplay of diabetes with high cholesterol. So you are a diabetic. For example, if you have a diabetic with an LDL cholesterol of 100 and you have a non-diabetic with a LDL cholesterol of 160, the person who is diabetic with a lower cholesterol may be at a higher risk. So it's an interplay. You have to look at it as an interplay. But having said that, you have to control each of the risk factors individually for you to improve. So, for example, the diet is very important in reducing the risk of obesity. And if you're obese, you're going to have not just high blood pressure, you can have sleep apnea. And these in turn can increase your tendency to diabetes, worsen your diabetes. And so you're seeing the big impact of the weight reducing medications now on the cardiovascular health. So it's an interplay.
Let's talk a little bit, Doc, about some of these diets because, I mean, as you say, it is a billion-dollar industry. I'm sure of it, and people are always saying, "Oh, this one's better than that one." And we've seen people talk about I think it's the keto diet, where you can have high-fat things, so you can eat steak and bacon for breakfast every single day, and they say that this is, you're not eating any vegetables, you're not eating any nuts or greens or anything. It's just like meat. Every day is like a steak. And people lose weight on it. And then
Yes.
there are people who will argue that this is a healthier diet. Can you really put this to bed once and for all? What does the medical evidence show about
So,
these types of the fat diets, high fat diets?
so to be honest with you, there is really no randomized controlled trial telling that the keto
Mm,
diet is good for cardiovascular health. No, it's
mhm,
we don't have it. But having said that, I have seen patients, I've encountered patients who swear by the keto diet and seem to be doing well in the cholesterol numbers. Honestly, I have no clue what is the actual explanation for this, but
mhm,
I think it is a what is it's a random observation, and I'm very data driven, so there is no clear
mhm,
randomized control trial. When you say randomized control trial, is you have
mhm,
100 people purely on keto diet, 100
mhm,
people on the standard diet, and they're all followed up for 10 years
mhm,
to see how who has a better outcome. So we really don't have such perfectly done trials. It is
mhm.
all based on observational studies, and
Right.
observational studies are just the data are not too reliable. For example, you keep hearing of red wine is good for health. That's all based on observational studies.
Mhm,
Randomly, you pick up a sample from different groups, and
mhm,
then you compare some outcomes and you publish the data. So these are not so reliable. So unfortunately, that is what it is. But
mhm,
you have some clear data on the Mediterranean diet. For
mhm,
example, very clearly the Mediterranean diet seems to give the best cardiovascular health. But the argument is that it's possible that genetically the people living in the Mediterranean, the diet in
mhm,
the area where they consume more of this are
mhm.
genetically possibly at a less lower risk than others.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it is that. So at the end of the day, it comes back to a balancing of the various components of your diet
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
terms of take a food with low saturated fat, higher polyunsaturated fatty acids, reasonable protein intake, low carbohydrate, and so you look for the kind of food stuff which give you this balance.
Mhm, mhm. Yep. And of course, there's other things that a high meat diet will do to your body outside of just impacting your cholesterol and your weight. So you do have to watch some other numbers as well. So the other risk factor, and
Maybe
oh,
one
did I
of the
tell
sorry,
you?
sorry to interrupt, Sandra. So
Yes, sir.
one of the things which you have to add here in the diet is the ultra processed foods. You've been reading a lot about it now.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
we are actually pummeled with the ultra processed foods from everywhere. This easiest way out for people who live
Hmm.
a very fast life. They have to rush for food, they have to rush to work, whole days. So for you, it's convenient to have an ultra processed food, which is
Hmm.
most of the stuff what we are getting in the supermarkets are ultra processed. So that is possibly one of the worst incriminators for high risk of obesity and especially in the US.
Hmm. And I was going to
And
say too, yes,
Sandy,
sir.
just to mention that I remember it would have been when Dr. Ravi first came, and we were doing the rounds, and we had more information session. It was with the Rotaract group. I think
Hmm.
it was Rotaract. It was one of the youth arms of the charitable, one of the major charitable. Like, I think it was Rotaract, and they brought a bottle of wine as the gift for, I guess, the question and answer segment afterwards. And Dr. Ravi broke their hearts by explaining that red wine isn't necessarily good for the heart, and just explain how those actual programs and statistics and the actual research wasn't necessarily as reliable as we thought. So just because we're speaking about it, that
Look,
came to the fore. In
yes,
that, a lot of times there seems to be misnomers that are out there that we aren't necessarily aware of. So that's why it's always important, because our your physicians are keeping up to the latest,
that's right.
to make sure you have those checks and make sure you see your physician, because what we thought we knew 10 years ago may not actually be so.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, and I love that Dr. Ravi said he's data driven, because in fact,
Yep.
now the data demonstrates that there is no such thing as any safe level of alcohol. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh no, Sandy, not that. But one drink, and it doesn't matter the type of alcohol, it doesn't matter if it's hard liquor, wine, a beer, whatever. Even one drink impacts a lot of different things in your body,
Yeah.
and the research is mounting. Like I've actually been paying attention to it, and sadly, it's just not good for you. So, they're now putting it in the same category as smoking, and I know a lot of
Yeah.
people see drinking as it's a social thing. Everybody goes out and they have a glass of wine or they have a beer, whatever. It's not a big deal, but yeah, the data is demonstrating that there is no positives when it comes for alcohol. So the ideal situation is not to drink at all, but if you can't not drink at all, then you need to definitely reduce your consumption significantly. So one a
Yes.
day is not a good number. You need to
No,
maybe
no, no,
do
not at all.
one a month if you really want to, curtail it. So yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people tend to binge drink as well. Like they may not drink for months at end, but an event happens and then they'll go out and have 4, 5, 6 drinks to kind of make up for it. So the other thing in terms of Doc, I'm trying to be on a better path myself in terms of lifestyle. And I know, for example, one of my Achilles heels is sodas, and sodas are horrible for you.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people do diet drinks, and the research is also showing diet may actually be worse for you than the regular soda, but in any event, it's definitely no better for you. So
Yes.
it's just water and tea, which I find so boring. I mean, I've got one of each right now, and I'm like, ugh, you'll see me sipping from water to tea in the mornings. But wow, some mornings, or not really mornings, but by midday, I feel like I could just use a Pepsi. But I'm trying
No Pepsi.
to give it up. But what makes it taste good is the fact that it's full of sugar. It's that high sugar, and I guess some of us really have a taste bud for sweet things, right? So that's why it's not really good for you folks. And here's an interesting fact, something I learned recently. Although all soda is bad for you, the lighter colored ones, like say for example Sprite, is a smidgen better. So if you're gonna have a soda, try to do something like maybe a ginger ale or Sprite as opposed to Pepsi or Coca-Cola.
And Sandy, are you gonna tell us about the diet sodas and how it's worse than the regular sodas?
Yes, I mean the research is there that it just isn't. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, I'll do diet, and the link seems to be that
Alzheimer's.
these artificial sugars,
Yeah.
in fact, are not good for you at all. So these 0 calories, low calorie foods and drinks seem to
Yeah.
be wreaking havoc on our system. So there's a whole lot of research out there that the artificial sweeteners, although they claim that they're flavor enhancers or whatever, that these chemical additives are actually really bad for your health as well, which is kind of sad because I think at one point, Doc, they were even recommending there's an iced tea that I like. Oh, I can't remember the name of it now. But anyway, they were saying that was good for people, even diabetics, because it has an artificial sugar in it. Now they know that that's not the case at
I
all.
saw I saw an article that was actually linking it to early on that Alzheimer's, the diet
Yes.
sodas and whatever
Yeah.
they. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
knew you would know about that, Sandy, seeing as you were researching the sodas.
Yeah. I've been on it. So everything from diabetes and metabolic syndrome, AFib and high blood pressure. These are all the things that it will negatively impact in terms of your life. Weight gain and disrupted hunger signals. So the artificial sweeteners actually trigger the same response in the brain as real sugar, and so that sweetness, the moment that that's detected, it releases certain hormones to then produce or process the sugar. And so, diet soda is hyper sweetened to make it actually taste good. And that can trigger cravings for even more sweet and more high cholesterol food. So it's not the solution. And of course, it causes dental problems. The citric acids can erode tooth enamel and so on. And there's some people who actually get triggered because of the artificial sweeteners that triggers migraines and headaches for them. So lots of things. It impacts your bone density. So diet sodas, my apologies, contain phosphorus, which can decrease bone density and increase the risk of osteoporosis, especially in older adults. A lot of women are going to diet sodas. You should think about that. Stroke and dementia. So they now know that like aspartame has been linked to an increased risk of neurological problems such as stroke and dementia as well. Impacts your gut health, kidney stones and kidney disease, the fatty liver disease. There's a non-alcoholic version of that. And research has long established a very, very strong correlation between the diet soda and the NFLD, which is the non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which a lot of us have fatty livers. You got to have that checked. I'm telling you, one of the great things about Health City is when you do that executive health check, they check all of these things. So they'll tell you, listen, you've got fatty liver. It's moderate at this time. You can reduce this by diet, and that's how you control it, right? Thyroid function and even the inflammation response in your body can worsen joint pain at diet sodas. So it's tough. Like I said, basically the only healthy options are teas, green tea, black tea for the most part, and good old fashioned water. And I want to say coconut water, but Doc, I'm probably off on the coconut water, but I just love a good coconut water every once in a while.
Again, the sugar.
Yeah, I know. That's why I love it. And I can literally sit down and drink a gallon of coconut water, but I find it difficult to drink regular water. So go figure. All
I was
right.
just hoping for a healthier sugar. Unfortunately, I think we don't have it.
Yeah. Even honey. Okay, let's put the honey one to bed, right? So a lot of people say, well, honey is better for you. It's still a sugar. So from the perspective of it being a sugar, it's no healthier probably than any other sugar.
No,
So,
not really, because it's again impacts your glycemic index. So what
Mhm.
you do is it's possibly lower than actual sugar, but still it does impact your glycemic index, and it's has got as much negative impact on your
Mhm.
metabolic system like any other sugar.
Yeah. Shamari, in another life, I could totally be a dietitian or nutritionist, except that, I have to live by it. So the knowledge is here. I've got to make the lifestyle changes, right? All right. The next risk factor, sedentary lifestyle and obesity. So this is the fact that we sit so much. We're not getting enough movement and exercise in our lives. Shamari is a testament to this. Shamari has not really changed his diet, but by getting up and moving more every single day, he's managed to lose almost 40 pounds. Have you gone over 40 pounds yet?
Yeah, I'm 45 pounds.
Oh
He
my
looks so
gosh.
slim, Shamari.
Look at
Yeah,
that. Somebody said
yeah,
last week, they said, who was that on your show today? And I'm like, what do you mean? That's Shamari. And they're like, what? They didn't recognize you.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well,
fantastic.
I always was pretty good on my diet. So even being good on your diet doesn't take you where you need to go without the exercise. So it's a holistic view.
Wow. So 45 pounds, and you managed to do that. Has it been 6 months? How long have you been walking for?
From April. Yeah.
From April. Very nice. And so tell us a little bit about what your workout is like, because some people were asking this before, but it's pretty
Mhm.
simple. It's nothing too complicated.
Yeah, 45 minutes to an hour, six days a week on the elliptical, and then I also include some weights, but I was I was I was using weights before as well, but I think it's really the elliptical,
Mhm,
45 minutes and to an hour. It's nothing intensive, right?
mhm.
So it's not as if I'm, you know, setting it to run up mountains or anything. It's just keeping active and just moving. And I always, would have a lot of greens with my protein. Every now and then, I love a fried chicken, but not doing that too often.
Mm-hmm.
Lowering my carb intake because I typically previously would have a lot of carbs, a lot of rice, second and third servings, but I cut that out a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have some rice every now and then, but for the most part, it's protein, vegetables, a little bit of starch, and then adding the exercise to it. That did it.
Hmm. Now look at this. It's so funny. I didn't see this question earlier. Somebody said, "Good morning, Ma. Why does Shamari look like that? Did he do the surgery?"
No,
So
no, 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 no. I
wow.
don't. One thing I stay away from is the knife. Even though I work with doctors,
Yeah.
I don't like surgery. I don't like surgery at all.
Yeah.
I've been blessed, as I mentioned before. Even in my
Never had
national
surgery.
team basketball playing days from youth, never broke a bone. Never had any major injuries that needed surgery. So I've been lucky, and I don't want to test fate by
Mm-hmm.
electively going under the knife when I've been blessed to not have to do that so far. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Lavana, look at that. No surgery, just him walking. Um, so we got a couple questions and comments from our listeners. Denny says, "Morning saturated fats is neutral on inflammation." I wouldn't have thought that. Doc, is there any research that supports that position? Saturated
Not
fat and
really,
inflammation.
no. So I think one of the adverse mechanism of very high saturated fat is versus the so-called CRP levels, HSCRP levels, so which is an indicator of inflammation. But again, having said that, all these are observational data. You don't have like, I mean, to really get the true data, you have to feed 100 people with saturated fat and then measure the inflammatory markers.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all theoretical rather than, I mean, most hypothetical, theoretical rather than proven facts
Yeah.
by precise science.
And the thing about it too is it's difficult to do because you're trying to save lives, not
Yeah, yeah.
not encourage people to eat unhealthy diets to then see, so I mean, when you say observational, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are I suppose, not eating well. So you can kind of look at them and see how that impacts them. But you can't really do that type of, as you say, proper double blind study
No.
because you can't control, you wouldn't want to put people in a controlled situation. However, there have been a few people who have done mini controlled bad diets, if you will, where they said, okay, for a month or 6 months,
Yeah.
I'm going to eat nothing but burgers every day. And the impact, has been horrific on their overall health. I mean, there was a guy who, I can't remember how long he did it for, but he actually did something like a burger every single day. All he ate was like burgers and French fries and whatever for maybe a month. And the weight gain, the cholesterol, like every single number
Yeah.
in his life was negatively impacted.
Correct.
So there's no, there's no good to come out of saturated fats, I don't think. I'm trying to see if I can find that story. I can't remember how long he did it for, but anyway. So sedentary lifestyle and obesity, it's difficult when we work at jobs that have us pretty much sitting down all day. But again, Dr. Ravi, the research shows that even if you get up at every hour, walk for 5 minutes around the office, walk up and down, all of these things help. There's a lady that I watch, and I want to recommend her to all of our listeners. She's called the Glocus Goddess, and she's written some books. She's out of Paris, actually. She's French, but she has is she French or French Canadian? I think she's French, but she's written a number of books. And one of the things she says, which I thought was kind of interesting, is that even if you're sitting in your chair, there are things that you can do to be less sedentary. And one of those things is basically leg lifts. They're like calf lifts because the calf muscle is considered a major, I forget what they call it now, but it's considered like a major artery almost. So exercising that, even just in isolation by itself, is considered a really good thing. And so if you're sitting, like you've just had a meal, they say, listen, if you eat a meal walk for 10, 15 minutes. That's the best thing that you can do. But if you can't walk for those 10 or 15 minutes, the next best thing is to sit there, even at the dining room table, and do leg calf rises as you're sitting down. So there's a lot of really good tips that she gives you in terms of how to get, she's focused on diabetes and insulin resistance, right? And using certain hacks to kind of impact that. The other one is apple cider vinegar, just putting a little teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in water before a meal that is high in carbohydrates, decreases the insulin impact of that meal by 30%, upwards of 30%. So yeah, I'll share some videos and stuff with you guys later on in her. But she's got a YouTube channel with 1.7 million subscribers, and she's got some really good stuff to share. So, yep, check her out. She's called the Glucose Goddess on Facebook, and I think her YouTube channel is the Glucose Revolution. All righty. So get to moving as much as you can. And the thing too that's interesting with exercise, Shamari, is even if you're going to the gym and you're exercising, outside of that, once again, the research says that you should do more. So if you're sitting for 8 hours a day and you go to gym for 1 hour and you are losing weight and that's all great, that 8 hours of sitting is still horrific for your lifestyle. So try to reduce the 8 hours of sitting by getting up, moving around as much as possible, and walking throughout the day. So it's like your steps don't count towards the exercise, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely. And Sandy being consistent, right, as well. So you would have
Yep.
seen, even when we were in Europe, I was making
Yeah.
sure to figure
I can
out whether in
find.
the hotel room or find that gym.
Yeah.
And we have so many hours in the day that we're not sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
If once you get into it, to just find that 45 minutes, even half an hour to 45 minutes, it
Yeah.
isn't that difficult. Just come prepared with the shoes that you're going to use and one or
Mm-hmm.
two outfits that you're going to be able to exercise in, and you can even do it in your hotel room, right? Just that's what I
Mm-hmm.
started doing because I've been on that weight journey before, and then when you go travel a lot, you know you don't get to the gym, but you can do it in your hotel room, just back and forth for half an hour,
Mm-hmm.
light jog, and it actually works. My
Yeah.
my wife is my wife is upset. She's like, all you have to do is hop on and look at how the weight falls off. This is so annoying. So
But you're definitely putting in the work, and I think that's really the key. Like you said, the consistency of it. So you motivated me. I came back from vacation. I started, but my knee hasn't really been 100, so I'm still kind of waiting for that to settle down. Hopefully, a little bit more. But yes. So Marjorie says, "What about the Atkins bars? And what about stevia sugar? Is that bad for you too?" So any artificial sugars, Margie, the people who do a lot of the research on this, I think there is one or two sugars, one being monk sugar.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a replacement, use that one. I think that's your best alternative. But other than that, all those artificial sugars are no bueno. And the Atkins bars, whether they're Atkins or by any other name, those bars are just not good for you at all. So one thing, by the way, and this really hit me hard in terms of the diet component, is to try to eat your calories, eat your food, as opposed to drink them. And I know, Shamari, I want to ask you, because we were having this conversation a number of months ago, and he said something that was explained to him at Health City that made so much sense. But this includes smoothies. Now, who doesn't love a good smoothie? Oh my God, Miss Stacy makes like the bomb smoothies, right? And I love, love, love a good smoothie, but they're the worst thing for you if you have any issues with your sugar, which most of us do, because they spike your sugar immediately, right? You're thinking, oh, but it's blueberries, strawberries, all fresh fruits, mangoes, all this good stuff. It really isn't good for you because you're stripping away all of the fiber. And the second you drink it, it's an immediate spike to your glucose, your sugar levels. So all of the well-informed dietitians and doctors now tell you that the one thing you need to get rid of, like it's at the top of the list for the worst thing for you to consume when you are watching and trying to bring down your A1C numbers, your sugar levels, is a smoothie. And so, in fact, they're like, it's no better than you having a soda. I mean, just don't do it. So it's difficult because, you're thinking, man, that's good fruit. Can I not do a green smoothie? The simple answer is no. Stay away from juices, all juices, whether it's
Right.
orange juice, apple juice,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Tell me how you explain it, Shamari, because I loved
No,
your.
yeah, I was even, well, if I recall the conversation as well, I was even talking about, for instance, if you were to eat an orange, right?
Mhm.
The amount of natural juice and fruit and sugars in one orange, probably the Lord made it that way that you eat one, right? But
Yeah.
in order to make the juice, you're using 3 and 4 and 5 oranges to get enough juice. So you're taking out all of the roughage and all of the good parts, and then you're increasing those natural sugars by fivefold in order
Mhm.
to get that glass that you're going to drink. So that's just how it was explained to me from one of the dietitians, which I drink. I'm a water drinker, and I'll drink an iced tea, yes, but I also then understood the dangers of diet sodas, because that's my fix, right? A good diet Coke or diet Pepsi. So I've had to limit those over time as well, understanding the dangers of those diet sodas as well. So
Mhm.
I'll mostly drink water throughout the day, and you'll see I drink actually 4 of these throughout the
Mhm.
day, which is supposed to be my water intake, and then I may have an unsweet iced tea, and that's it, right? So that's
Mhm.
how I'm treating the liquids that I'm putting to my body. Outside,
Yeah.
of course, if I need to have a beverage, an adult beverage every now and then obviously that's that other part of the issue that I need to
Mhm.
limit as well. But everybody at some point in time, in moderation, right, Dr. Ravi?
Yep.
Um, a
Very
lot of
true.
times you try and cut everything out and then you just crash and burn and go right back.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
moderation so you can keep it up over time.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So El Ray mentioned stevia. There's some good information on that as well, so you can check that one out. I think that's one of the better ones. It comes from an actual leaf itself, so they do the stevia leaf extracts as sweeteners, and they consider it generally safe. So yeah, wow, lots of good information here this morning, folks. I'm so glad to see you guys engaged. Over 261 folks. Smoking and exercise, smoking and excessive alcohol consumption also increases your risk. I think everybody by now knows the ill effects of smoking, but the one thing that people need to understand, especially with children, is you've got to really pay attention to young adults who are getting into the habit of vaping, because vaping is no better for you. So it's really important to recognize, and there's a lot of unknowns still about vaping, but we know that it is as dangerous or potentially even more dangerous than regular smoking. So folks, there's no way that you can consume anything into your lungs that impacts your body like that you can think is a safe alternative or safer alternative. So alcohol consumption, we've kind of touched on that earlier as well. Let's talk about some of the weight loss drugs, because Irvelin says, everybody's on it these days. A lot of people are taking them, Mounjaro, and what's the other one called? Oh, goodness. What's the other one, Shamari? Ozempic, yes. And they go by several different names. So these are injections, but they also come in tablet form as well, somebody told me.
It's coming in. Oral semaglutide is coming in. It's being used. There have been good trials with it,
Mhm.
but I think the injectable ones seem to be, as of now, more effective.
Hello,
Mhm.
ma'am.
Hi, caller. You're
Hello.
joining the show. Hi, good morning. Hello. Okay, we're live on air. So just remember, if you're calling, it has to be about the show. Okay. Yes. So, what's the, a lot of people are taking them, they're losing massive amounts of weight. Celebrities are taking them to drop a few pounds quickly. It's early days yet, but a lot of the evidence is showing that maybe there's a lot more to these drugs that we don't know, that people should be cautious about. and they shouldn't really be using them for weight loss. They really meant for people with diabetic issues. But what's your kind of gut feeling about these drugs? Because I know in your professional career, you've seen so many fixes come and go. How do you feel about Ozempic and Mounjaro and these types of drugs?
So as of now, they seem to be major game changers in obesity management. Uh, there is no doubt about it, and they have a positive impact on the overall cardiovascular health, both ASCVD risk and atrial fibrillation. So much of general health improvement with weight loss. So I think the data currently are favorable, Sandy. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not, of course, you do hear about some of the negative aspects of the Ozempic and Manjaro, but it's really overshadowed by the largely positive benefits.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All
And
right.
we continue to advise people to try them. But I guess Shamari is the greatest example. You don't need all that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so you have simple things which are within your control.
Yeah. I mean, for me, they've been recommended medically by me, and I've said no. There's too many unknowns for me. Like I feel like, now they're talking about cancer risk, especially for kidney cancers and liver cancer and all, and I'm just like, knowing that you could do it yourself. Yeah, it's a last resort, I would
Correct.
think.
I
And
agree. But there's some people who are not able to do it, so they're
yeah.
not fortunate. I mean, they're metabolically prone to morbid obesity.
Mhm.
So it's very unfortunate. So uh, you need to help them. I guess in one way to motivate them is to give them the injection, show that they can lose weight. And once they lose weight, their feeling is totally different. They become more positive,
Mhm.
and they know that it's possible, and that may actually improve their lifestyle management. But
Mhm.
they want to get rid of that morbidly obese label, which I'm sure
Mhm.
they're never happy to have it.
Yeah. But the thing about it is the way in which these drugs work is the semi-glutide, as you say, right? Anti-diabetic medication is they actually put you into almost like a starvation mode. So they make you feel like you're full
Yeah.
and you just don't eat. So once you come off the drugs, because you can't be on these drugs presumably forever, once
Yeah.
you come off the drugs, what happens then? I'm hearing that people rebound and end up,
Yeah.
gaining even more weight before they went on the GLP-1 drugs.
Well,
So,
the rebound is possible. That's what. So, in the sense that once they lose weight, they get the motivation to remain slim. Maybe they'll improve their lifestyle overall, and that's what you have to look at.
You still need lifestyle changes
mhm,
to be
mhm,
able to make it effective in
Yeah.
the long term. And it was funny, Sandy, that you're mentioning these drugs. Good friend of mine came and whispered to me, "Oh, so you
mhm,
got the good stuff at Health City, right?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, you got the jab." I was like, "No, no, no, didn't get the jab. You can come with me and we can do the elliptical." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't
mhm.
realize." So yeah, but there's some people like Dr. Ravi mentioned that are either predisposed
Yeah.
or need that little bit of a nudge to get them over the hill to lose that weight to help. They're already on the right path, have been doing everything from some exercise to diet, and still can't, I guess, lose as much as they need to. And
Mhm,
my understanding is the taking the drugs with with your doctor and
mhm.
understanding the different areas and making sure that you lose the weight, but changing your lifestyle too is always going to be important, um,
Yeah.
as you would know. So,
All right. We have a caller in the line. Good morning, caller. Any questions or comments about high cholesterol?
And I'm
Yeah.
joining late, but
Okay.
why you guys were in since you got some professionals on there? I want to
Mhm,
ask a question. I heard on the talking about sweeteners, and yes, I know I mostly use none of them artificial ones because I understand they're not good for you. But what I've
mhm.
been using to sweeten stuff for my husband is I don't know if you guys heard about the agave. organic like agave. It's made in Mexico. It's something look like a honey, but it's not as, like sweet as honey and stuff. They have two. They have a darker one that look like molasses, almost black, and then this one says organic lake agave, 100%. Blue agave is that good. A clean, simple. It made by Madhava or something like that. Is that a thing to sweeten stuff with?
Okay, thank you so much, caller. Is agave as a sweetener any better, Doc, than any other sweetener?
So it's a natural sweetener. So I guess it's safer than, but it does spike your glycemic index.
Yeah. We kind of struggle with the concept that there are things that are found in nature that are natural, like mangoes. Mango season, I eat a lot of green mangoes, turn mangoes, as we say, that you have to watch and be careful of, because there are things, I tell people all the time, and even, I have a 9-year-old and trying to explain to her, because her logic is, oh, but mom, if it's Mother Nature, it's good for you. I'm like, not necessarily. It depends on what it is. So there are things in Mother Nature that are poisonous that can kill you. Like if you pick an ackee before it's time, so yeah, I mean, it doesn't, the logic doesn't flow that just because it's found in nature, it is safe for you. So any sweetener that spikes your, and because we're getting too much sugar in our diet from every source. I mean, ketchup, I was shocked to know, I'm not a huge ketchup person really, but I was shocked to know how much sugar is in ketchup. And, Caymanians, a lot of Caymanians love ketchup. Like I'm trying to get my daughter like, okay, if you're going to eat a French fry, don't layer it with all the bad sauces, right? So just eat French fries, no ketchup, a very moderate amount. But, ketchup tastes good because the sweetener that's in it. And so a lot of us people, Shamari, any Caymanians that love ketchup and rice?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
It's a thing.
I might be one of them.
I've got a cousin that's diabetic, and I remember when she went to the doctor and they said, yeah, you're diabetic now. We need you to modify your diet. And when she was going through her list of things that she eats, they told her at the top of the list is ketchup, because she's one of them. Ketchup with eggs, ketchup with rice, ketchup with everything. They're like, no, you got to get rid of ketchup. She's like, what? You might as well just put me in the coffin now, because she's like, I can't do it. It's just
ketchup with eggs. That's me.
I've never had ketchup with eggs. So
and if you have a really good spicy fried chicken and you make ketchup with honey with some hot sauce and mix it together, that's definitely not good for you. That's advice for me as well. So yeah.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah. I'll hook it up. I would say I would hook you up, but I don't want to get you addicted on it. I'm trying to get off of
your Super Bowl party. I'm going to try to come this year. So hook it up, because I'll just have it once a year. But Doc, these are some of the things that we're talking about, right? Food is such an addictive thing, but also we, throughout, growing up, we just enjoy certain things because food is linked to memories and, and Caribbean people, listen, we love food. So if you die and we have a funeral, we're going to have food. If you get married, we got food. Babies, we're going to have showers and there's food. So we celebrate and mourn with food. Like everything is about food. And that's the difficulty when you're trying to, really have things in moderation. Of course, that's where a lot of people find that, and I'm trying this myself right now, that the fasting might be the best way to kind of control it. Like you do, you decrease your caloric intake for the day. And really, when you think about it, somebody said food is social. It is very much social. When you think about if you can do intermittent fasting, more or less, that's what you're doing on these drugs anyway, except they take it to an extreme where you're pretty much, it cuts down on your hunger. You're not hungry at all. So, you're not eating a lot of these things. Any thoughts on intermittent fasting and the impact that it can have on your saturated fat, trans fat, just overall risk factors for high cholesterol?
Again, no data.
No data.
No.
All right. Well, people are losing weight on it, and the weight loss helps. So
So I
I'm gonna.
guess it's just that when you do the intermittent fasting, you're certainly reducing your calorie intake,
Mhm,
and of course there are data that there has to be significant gap between your meals, and there
mhm.
has to be a significant gap between the meal time and the sleep time. I mean, all these improve your
Yeah.
the metabolism, the digestive and absorption, and
Yes.
so I think that's how it impacts basically the intermittent. The
Hmm.
whole concept is that, and you are allowing more time for the body factory to digest the
Hmm.
food that you have had and eliminate it, rather
Hmm.
than keep piling on every few hours.
Yeah. And so this what we were taught before, which was, oh, eat 6 small meals a day, because that's constantly forcing you to eat and have your digestive system constantly working. I mean, again, there mightn't be strong data, but there is some, I think, some indications that that is actually
No,
not the best way.
there was a small trial where they looked at intermittent fasting versus frequent small meals, and they found no
Mhm.
difference. So it's it's too complicated. When you put things to science,
Mhm.
nothing much may come out. So
Oh, interesting. All right. Genetics and family history also, as we spoke about earlier, one of the risk factors, and of course, certain medical conditions such as diabetes and hypothyroidism will compound your risk for high cholesterol. So we got into overtime a little bit, but we're having such a great discussion. We're going to get now to trying to wrap it up a little bit. So how do we diagnose it? This is one of the key things that should be on any executive health check that you do, and for sure, Health City monitors these. So tell us a little bit, Dr. Ravi, about the diagnostic tools and what they look for. One of the key things apparently now is the size of the particles, because everyone, even children, will have cholesterol, obviously. But the size of those particles floating around in your blood vessels. That's what I'm looking for.
So yeah, putting it very simply, I know you when you do your lipid profile, you check at
Mhm,
those four standard parameters: the LDL cholesterol, HDL, triglycerides, and total cholesterol. So that we all know that, and every lab produces it.
mhm,
So now to try to understand, so the LDL cholesterol, you look at various levels, but by published, say, data, we know that any LDL cholesterol more than 190 milligrams per deciliter is likely to be super high risk and should mandatorily be treated. So that is the guideline, but like I mentioned, it's not a moving target. So 190 for somebody may be not as bad as 100 for one another person. Now the new concept that's come up is the concept of, to put it very simply, which of the cholesterol is stickier. For your bad cholesterol to be bad for you, it has to be stickier. It has to stick to the vessel walls and produce the plaque and the risk, which is the one which increases the risk of heart attack. So
mhm,
to understand that, so there's some the finer analysis that's come of vogue now. One, I'm sure a lot of you would have read on the media and hearing about it, called lipoprotein little a. It's again a type of LDL cholesterol. So if people who have high levels of lipoprotein little a can be the cholesterol can be stickier, and they can be at a higher risk of heart attacks. Similarly, something called apoprotein B and apoprotein A. These are also this a very complex scenario which is very much evolving right now. The one which is there is a lot of clarity is lipoprotein little a, but all these, mind you, these are just surrogates. We really don't know what the true danger is, but
mhm,
all these are surrogates. You know that it's elevated. Yes, it's reflecting a higher risk, but is it linked to the higher risk, or is it just one more, say, thing
mhm,
which is directing towards the higher risk? Nobody realizes. But
mhm,
one of the reasons why this is coming of vogue is there are some medications which are going to reduce lipoprotein little a, So the industry which is manufacturing these drugs has gone into overdrive into increasing the awareness of this component in people's mind, and a lot of people come to us asking us for this to be measured and stuff like that.
Hmm. So the key is to monitor your numbers. Sometimes the earlier the better, so that you can see how they're changing over time. And once you hit a particular age, especially for women, but I suspect for men as well, that kind of menopausal range, your body goes through a lot of changes that will impact those numbers. So that's when you really gotta, watch the diet, exercise, and do all of these additional things. So lots of treatments and management available. Lifestyle modification always recommended. So you can adopt a heart healthy diet. Again, the Mediterranean diet seems to have a lot of positives going for it. The DASH diet, engage in regular physical activity, at least 150 minutes per week, which really isn't that much. Quit smoking. And it says limit alcohol use, but if you can quit alcohol use, do that as well. All the sugary drinks and sodas, get rid of them. I saw, who was it that said, oh, Gabby said, my weakness, boy, and nice ice cold Pepsi. Oh, God, Gabby, trust me. You know when it's like you put it in the freezer, so it almost has, it's almost frozen, Shamari?
Icicle. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that does a little bit something extra to that Pepsi. And then, of course, there's certain foods that go together. My aunt, she's probably listening this morning going, oh, Lord, Sandy and her food memories. There's certain foods that go together. So, if you have a patty, it's so tempting to have a Pepsi with it. And then this is where your diet starts to go to hell, because we pair things together, Doc, that, green mangoes. I'm not going to sit down and eat a turned mango by itself. I need salt and pepper, because that's what makes a turned mango good.
Exactly. And a good island taste or tasty patty with jupina or the watermelon soda back in the day when we were kids. Yep.
Yeah, I never really
Nothing
took
can
to
be
the
done.
Jupino, but for me it's Pepsi. Yeah, it's a nice cold Pepsi. But yeah, I know a lot of people who love the watermelon or the pineapple one too.
Yep.
So watch those things, watch the diet, and of course medication, statins, and other lipid lowering drugs may be prescribed to reduce LDL levels and overall risk. So of course that's where Dr. Ravi comes in. Once you get your numbers back, you can sit down and have a consult with him and the other team members at Health City Cayman Islands, and they can kind of say, we think it might be time for some medication, but try to do lifestyle modification first. They always recommend that. They always say, lose weight, Sandy, start walking, watch the diet, and then routine monitoring. So regular checkups, especially if you're over 40 or those with any risk factors, including family risk factors. This was such an educational segment, Dr. Ravi. I see lots of people talk about the things that they love to eat that they know is not good for them. Here's this one: rice, corned beef, macaroni, pasta, and ketchup all over.
Wow. That one I can't say I've partaken in before.
Oh
Right?
my God. Miss Marjorie says, please ask the doctor how to get away from fat around the liver. So fatty liver, again, comes down to diet modification, right?
Yeah, that's it. Same for everything. The solution is diet, exercise, diet.
Yep. Sounds simple, but it is oh so difficult. Shaka says, I think most of the audience is missing the point. The doc is saying anything that is spiking your glucose is what needs to be of concern. And absolutely. And the thing is, we're having spikes like all day long, and those spikes are simply not good. I tell you, if you're interested in especially this spiking of the glucose, go in and follow the glucose goddess. She is very, very good. So Danny says green mangoes contain less sugar than ripe mangoes. Yes, but they're still very, very high in carbs, apparently. Can't get away from it. Well, thank you so much to Dr. Ravi for taking us through this conversation today around cholesterol. And we know that, the same things, like he said, with everything, diet and exercise. So if you can get your cholesterol under control, you'll see other numbers start to come down. Shamari, I'm curious to know, have you done an executive health check since you've been on your walking journey?
No, my December's my time
Okay.
frame to get
All
it
right.
done. So in
So
December, Dr.
please
Turon
share
will
with
be
us.
very pleased. Dr. Turon, I'm sure, will be very pleased with my numbers when I go back in
Yeah.
December to him to get my
And hopefully you can
executive health
share
check.
some numbers with us in terms of what's
Yes,
come down with that
definitely,
45 pounds. Fantastic.
definitely.
Thank you, Shamari. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All
Thanks,
right,
Dr.
guys.
Ravi.
Have a beautiful day. Oops.
Fired.
Oh,
Hopefully somebody will be fired by end of day today.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. Have a good one. Um, wow. That's accountability for you. I'm gonna put on a little bit of lip gloss here. That's accountability. Shamari says, hold them accountable. Oh my goodness. Yes. That's like the Ritz-Carlton. Somebody get held accountable. Although the other one ran off. Oh my God. Would you guys like a little bit of sauce this morning? Everybody loves a little bit of sauce, I feel like. Some of y'all low-key be trying to deny it. And then you'd be messaging me, give me the sauce, Sandy, give me the sauce. So I think it's no secret that I love Thai Orchid. I love Thai food. And for me, Thai Orchid, consistently over the years, their food has just been consistently good. Like I've never had a bad meal there. You know, you go there and it's all good. I mean, the food is good. So I can't complain. You know, they got lots of options. As you feel for a little sushi, you can do that. If you want traditional Thai food, you can do that. They've got desserts to die for, but we've been trying to stay away from the dessert table. So their food is just really, really good. So imagine my surprise last week when we were talking about the situation at the Ritz-Carlton with Mark Langevin. And unfortunately, his termination for what looks like some kind of procurement scam that all accounts is he was not directly involved, but he was certainly, the manager, general manager at the hotel. So they holding people accountable. Bobo, you should have caught this. You should have been on the lookout. And so he got the axe. Well, you guys might remember that we did that show. And then afterwards, I got a phone call and somebody said, Sandy, are you sitting down, girl? And I was like, oh, Lord, this sounds interesting. What's going on? They said, do you know who ran off with the guy there? What's his name? Oh, Lord, I have to look up his name again. The one who's alleged to have been the mastermind in the purchasing department. He was head of the purchasing department who stole all this money. So I'm like, who ran off with him? They said, yes, we know that you love you some Thai Orchid, and I do. And they were like, well, Woody that works at Thai Orchid? And I was like, yeah, that's my friend. I love me some Woody. They said, honey child. Well, Woody has run off with this guy. And I guess they're going back to Thailand. I mean, I don't know exactly where, but I was like, what? Now, you know that money is going to stretch in Thailand, girl. I mean, not for nothing, but even if it's half of the 20 million that he allegedly stole, that's an ish load of money. That will spend so well in Thailand. They can open up a whole restaurant and then some. So I was just like, no way. Apparently that was his partner. And come to think of it, the last couple of times I've been there, I have not seen Woody. So I'm like, where's Woody? Woody gone off with this scheming boyfriend who stole the people them blind at the Ritz-Carlton. I was just like, no way. I am so shocked. Not that Woody necessarily had anything to do with it, but why are you going to pick up and run off with your loved one? I mean, what story did he tell you? Why he had to leave all of a sudden? I would have been very, very suspicious about that. Miss Marjorie says, I love all this sauce. I know, girl. I was like, this is a very suspicious situation. So I'm digging more. Like, I'm not really deep in the Thai community, but if any of you want to give me some more of the sauce, y'all have my number. Just reach out to me and tell me what's going on. I can't believe it, though. I'm like, I would not be so stupid. But I guess if your boyfriend just gave you $20 million to be stupid, honey child, you're going to be like, hello, in Thailand, I'm a billionaire with $20 million. I'm just saying, what a hot mess. Lord have mercy. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night though. I'd be like looking over my shoulder. Them dark people coming for me. The Ritz-Carlton folks are coming. Oh, they're gonna send detectives to chase you down and get their money back. Wow. Lord have mercy. Well, let's look at what else is happening in the news, folks. I had down on the agenda that I needed to talk about Clifton Hunter graduation. OMG. So on Friday, when I I had to jettison up to Miami Friday morning right after the show. I was on the plane with someone who attended the Clifton Hunter. Did they attend it or were they watching it? I can't remember now. But anyway, they're like, girl, did you watch the Clifton Hunter graduation last night? And I said, no. Why? What happened? They said, honey, child, that was the worst graduation they have ever seen. And I thought, that's kind of interesting because I gotta show you all a picture. Because not for nothing, but somebody sent me a picture, a very colorful picture of one of the teachers. And they were like, what is this woman wearing? And I was just like, she must be an art teacher. Please tell me she's an art teacher because, you know, they have a certain flair about them. And so we give them a little bly, we give them a little pass. But yeah, look at this. Okay, honey, child. I heard she's a very nice person. So nothing against the personality, but Lord Jesus, who told her this looked good for a Clifton Hunter graduation ceremony? I mean, Jesus Christ. Whoa. Okay. But it gets worse than that. Look, you know, I have not had a time to go watch it because apparently it's too long. Let me tell you how long it was. So this is one of the complaints is that these graduations ceremonies really get out of hand. And I'm going to look it up. Hold on one second. And they are excessive in the time frame, so much so that people are calling on the education department to do better. They're like, y'all got to rein this ish in. Like, this makes zero sense. To have a graduation that's longer than one at a university with thousands of students. So someone said she's an English teacher. Oh, bless her little heart. English must be fun these days. My tweet him. Where is Clifton Hunter? I see John Gray. Did they take it offline because it was so ridiculous? I bet you they did. No, y'all did not. Oh my God, put it back. I bet you they took it off. I heard it was such an embarrassment. OMG, I see John Gray. Clifton Hunter happened after John Gray. Hold on. Oh my God, GIS took it down. Damn. They took it off of YouTube. That is how bad. Oh no, hold on, I lie. No, that's not it. They got John Gray. Did y'all really take it down? They delisted it. Wow. No, I wanted to go see it. You see, that's why I should have grabbed it that night or the next morning. Oh my gosh. So now I just have to tell you, I can't demonstrate and show you. Did they stream it on Facebook? Let's look on Facebook real quick. Let's hurry up before they try to take it down. Let me see. CIGTV. Let me see. Ooh, honey child, you know, government is embarrassed when they have to take down a live stream. Let me see. Nope. Nothing. Oh my God. Did they really take it down? Oh, no, they didn't. Hold on. Somebody found it. Hold on. Oh, thank the Lord. I was going to say, let me see. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. I couldn't find it. If you go on their channel, though, it's hard to find. This is somebody who still had the link. Let me see if it's pulling it up. Oh, yeah. So thank you so much. I can't find it. I thought they'd taken it down, honey. Yeah. I heard it's such an embarrassment. Oh, it's not in CIGTV. It's in another channel. I think CIGTV took it down. Hold on. Let me quick time download it. Before they're like, oops, we forgot to take it down from there. Uh-huh. Yes. Where's my download button? So I heard that this graduation, which is 3 hours and 44 minutes and change, was ridiculous. I mean, when I say ridiculous, I mean ridiculous, right? So I heard, I'm downloading it real quick. Quick time. I heard that this graduation, okay, let's start with why it was ridiculous, apparently. All right, I'm going to download it and then we're going to play some segments of it. The staff apparently don't even know the name of the education minister. Now, you know these people have got to be lying. There is no way. YouTube error, maximum of 3 hours. So it's even too long for my AI tool to help me out here. They're like, nope, 3 hours. So let me download it and then we're gonna go through it once we download it. It's gonna take a hot minute to download because it is a big file, 3.5 gigabyte file, honey child. Gonna take at least 7 minutes to finish downloading. Anyway, let me see if I can just pull it in. But my understanding is that they could not even get the name of people right. Now, not for nothing, but if you are going to attend a graduation, yes, don't you think you should at least know the name of the sitting minister of education? How do you not know that his name is the Honorable Ralston? Okay, hold on. I need to see this with my own 2 eyes. So I warn you, I've not seen it yet. I've heard the complaints, but now I also want to see it along with you. So let's go ahead and check this out. But I heard that they were calling people's names who were not ministers. They were mixing up the pronunciation of government officials. I am flabbergasted because I'm thinking the only part of your speech that you really need to work on and get right is the name of the government officials. There's only 19 of them. And my apologies. For the record, I understand that this is the most people, most government elected officials that actually showed up for a graduation, probably forever in a very, very long time. Now, the Minister of Education was there. Now, I know that they're not used to that. This is what happened. You know, this is what I suspect. They're actually not used to the Minister of Education showing up for anything. Because, you know, the previous one didn't show up except when election time rolled around. So she hasn't been to a graduation in years, so they don't even know the proper protocol or even who's minister anymore. So that's why they were confused. Let's see if we can watch it. Hold on. Let's see how far we can fast forward. Oh, I need to unmute the tab. Give me 1 second here. I always have the YouTube tabs muted, so let me unmute it. Yep. And then we are going to have a listen. So we can't watch 3 hours now, so we're going to try to fast forward. Let's see where we are. No. Okay, let's get through.
Illustrated by the Clifton Hunter High School band.
Who was it that was mispronouncing all the names? Well, even the speaker there must be them, right? Yeah, look at this. Well represented. Education department, education ministry, all the ministers. I mean, look, we see Jay, we see the Honorable Isaac Rankin, we see the Honorable Michael Miles, we see obviously the Minister of Education, France Manderson, the Governor. Let's see, Chris Saunders is in the back. We see next to him is John, Honorable Nicholas DaCosta. That looks like Mr. Wayne Panton kind of walking in front there. And I can't see because of that who's next to Nicholas DaCosta, but it looks like a woman. And then we have Miss Julie Hunter. We got Heather Bodden. So my sources reveal that they had like, out of the 19, I think 17 were there. So the only ones that were not there was MP for Waddington Central, oh gosh, Kenneth Bryan and the Minister of Tourism and Deputy Premier, because they had gone to the one the night before for John Gray. So they did the John Gray one. And okay, so let's have a look here. All right. So
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you.
they say the Lord prayer. National song.
Miss Julie Hunter, Deputy Speaker, Mrs. Perlina McGaw Lumsden,
Is it him that got
elected members of Parliament, Mr. Roy McTaggart, Mr. Royston Roy.
Wait. This is it. Let's back it up a little bit. So I don't know who little Bobo is reading this, and I don't know who gave him the script to read, but he needed to verify this. I mean, listen, as a teacher, if you can't get some of the basic stuff right, okay, in terms of the names of our elected officials, how are you up teaching your children? I'm just saying, how are you teaching our children? This is not a stellar example for them by any stretch of the imagination. These teachers, they should be ashamed of themselves. They should really be ashamed of themselves. I'm thinking, how do you do this and you're a school teacher and not be so ashamed? I wonder if the students were sitting there shaking their head like, you forced me to get an education. I'm now graduating, and you talking about all this foolishness, getting the names wrong? Hold on, honey child. We gotta hear how this story really go. Because, I mean, I was surprised when I heard that they don't even know who the Minister of Education is. All right, let's listen to him.
Good evening. I am Orlando Broomfield, and I will be your MC for this August occasion.
August? Excuse me. August? Now, I know when August is because that's my birthday month. I'm pretty sure I did not just celebrate a birthday. What the hell does he mean August? What speech did he read? No, this can't be legit. And the MC? Oh, yeah, Miss Alba, buenos dias, mi amor, ¿cómo estás? She says, buenos dias, corazón, ¿cómo estás? Estoy muy bien, gracias. Pero look at this planchera. ¿Qué planchera? All right, let's keep listening. He starts out telling us it's August. What a hot mess.
Her Excellency, the Governor, Mrs. Jane Owen.
You got that right.
The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable D. Ezard Miller. The Deputy Governor, His Excellency Franz Manderson.
Deputy Governor, okay.
Minister of Finance and Economic Development and Education and Training, Honorable Royston Anglin.
Royston. Who the blickety-blickety-blick is Royston? Oh, he said auspicious occasion. I thought he said August. What a disgrace. I thought he said August or auspicious? Huh? He meant August, emphasis on the last syllable. Oh, bam, like auspicious, but oh man, okay. So what he called Ralston? What? Hold on. Your own minister. I gotta hear it again.
August occasion.
Oh, okay. Sounds like August.
Her Excellency, the Governor, Mrs. Jane Owen. The Speaker of Parliament, Honorable D. Ezard Miller. The Deputy Governor, His Excellency Franz Manderson. Minister of Finance and Economic Development and Education and Training, Honorable Royston Anglin.
Royston. Hello, Minister. Mr. Royston, you have a new name. Honorable Royston.
Minister for Social Development and Innovation and Youth, Sports and Culture, Honorable Isaac Rankin. Minister for Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, Honorable Johanna J. Ebanks. Johanna J. Ebanks, pardon.
What? Johanna? Johanna. This is reminding me of Nobody Gets Left Behind, Ohana.
Royston Anglin.
No, sir.
Minister for Social Development and Innovation and Youth,
Lord
Sports and
God.
Culture, Honorable Isaac Rankin. Minister for Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, Honorable Johanni J. Ebanks, pardon. Minister for District Administration and Home Affairs, Honorable Nicholas Da Costa. Minister for Caymanian Employment and Immigration, Honorable Michael Miles. Elected members of Parliament and parliamentary secretaries, Honorable Wayne Panton, Miss Heather Bodden, Miss Julie Hunter.
Now, hold on a second now. If he's going to say Honorable Wayne Panton as parliamentary secretary, all of the women should be honorable as well. But I don't think parliamentary secretaries actually get the honorable title. So I think he misspoke even in his description there of Mr. Wayne Panton. He is a PS, just like the others, but you don't do honorable in front of their name. So all kind of mix up going on here, honey chair.
Deputy Speaker, Mrs. Perlina McGaw Lumsden. Elected members of Parliament, Mr. Roy McTaggart, Mr. Royston Roy Tatum, Dr. Dwayne Seymour, Mr.
Say what again? What do you say about Mr.
Minister for Caymanian Employment and Immigration, Honorable Michael Miles. Elected members of Parliament and parliamentary secretaries, Honorable Wayne Panton, Miss Heather Bodden, Miss Julie Hunter. Deputy Speaker, Mrs. Perlina McGaw Lumsden. Elected members of Parliament, Mr. Roy McTaggart, Mr. Royston Roy Tatum.
What? Royston Roy Tatum? Who the hell is that? Who is Royston? Royston Roy Tatum. Again, I don't know who this Royston fella is. He must be somebody really, really important in Jamaica because, I mean, his name keeps coming up. Who the hell is Royston? What a hot mess. Yes, thank you. I stand corrected. This is absolutely right. McKeeva did change this. Wayne Panton retains the title of honorable by virtue of being a former premier, nothing to do with his parliamentary century. I stand corrected. You are absolutely 1,000% right. So let me deduct that and give this young man his credit on that. That's the correct title for him. Yes, and apparently it didn't used to be that way, but you're right. What's his name? McKeeva Bush changed it so that he could always be referred to as honorable, although he is disgraceful. Somebody said he was just nervous. Poor little thing. What a hot mess. Okay. All these names wrong. Roy Tatum has a different first name? I thought it was just Roy Tatum. He has a name before that. But anyway, apparently him and Ralston have the same name.
Dr. Dwayne Seymour.
Wait, Dr. Dwayne Seymour? What?
Housing and Infrastructure, Honorable Johanna J. Janice Headley.
Hold on.
August occasion. Okay. Director for the Department of Education Services, Mr. Mark Ray. Deputy Director for Royston Anglin. Minister for Social Development and Innovation and Youth, Sports and Culture, Honorable Isaac Rankin. Minister for Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, Honorable Johanni J. Ebanks, pardon. Minister for District Administration and Home Affairs, Honorable Nicholas Da Costa. Minister for Caymanian Employment and Immigration, Honorable Michael Miles. Elected members of Parliament and parliamentary secretaries, Honorable Wayne Panton, Miss Heather Bodden, Miss Julie Hunter. Deputy Speaker, Mrs. Perlina McGaw Lumsden. Elected members of Parliament, Mr. Roy McTaggart, Mr. Royston Roy Tatum, Dr. Dwayne Seymour, Mr. Christopher Saunders, Chief Officer.
Say, wait a minute now. Wait. When did did he say Dr. Dwayne Seymour? Now, slap me bald-headed, but when did John get a doctorate degree. Not for nothing, but was that from the Donkey University of Button Down or what? No, sir. Dr. Dwayne Seymour. Look at the expression on, let me tell you how funny this has gotten. Look at the expression on Chris Saunders' face. You know, he was laughing when he said, Doctor. No. Hold on. The faces say it all, okay? All we have to do, they talk about micro expressions. These are not even micro expressions. These are WT, double, triple, quadruple F expressions. Because look at the people's faces, okay? Let's have a look now. Exhibit number 1. Hold on. Let me pull this out. Look at this. Look at these two. They're like, what? What is this man reading from? This is no AI voiceover. I mean, listen, AI might get mispronunciations right, but it's going to type what you tell it. So, no, sir. So Ralston is looking like he's bewildered. And this is how the evening started out. So you can imagine how the rest of the evening went. And then we have Chris Saunders in the back of the class. They're laughing. Oh, you got a doctorate, Bobo? When did you get a doctorate? Yeah, I hear you there. And look at Lance Barnes right behind them. Lance actually does have a doctorate, and he's thinking to himself, how the hell this man get a doctorate? Like what on earth? Are you serious? I had to earn it. I had to work for it. And John just gets one just so? What donkey universe are we living in? Denny says he got Perlina wrong as well as Deputy Speaker. She's also honorable. What a mess. At least your worries head with this one, Denny. All right, let's continue. Just a little bit of comedic relief this morning.
Sir.
Hot mess.
Ministry of Education and Training, Ms. Setonia Cacho. Acting Deputy Chief Officer, Ministry of Education and Training, Mr. Elroy Ryan Watler. Director of Human Resources.
Wait, Mr. Elroy is a Watler? I thought he was. What? Wait a minute. What did he say just now? Hold on. What's Mr. Elroy's
Sports
name?
and Culture, Honorable Isaac Rankin. Minister for Planning, Lands, Agriculture, Housing and Infrastructure, Honorable Johanny J. Ebanks, pardon. Minister for District Administration and Home Affairs, Honorable Nicholas DaCosta. Minister for Caymanian Employment and Immigration, Honorable Michael Miles. Elected members of Parliament and parliamentary secretaries, Honorable Wayne Panton, Miss Heather Bodden, Miss Julie Hunter, Deputy Speaker, Mrs. Perlina McGaw-Lumsden, elected members of Parliament, Mr. Roy McTaggart, Mr. Royston Roy Tatum, Dr. Dwayne Seymour, Mr. Christopher Saunders, Chief Officer, Ministry of Education and Training, Ms. Setonia Cacho, Acting Deputy Chief Officer, Ministry of Education and Training, Mr. Elroy Ryan Watler.
It's Brian. It's not Ryan, right? It isn't Elroy's last name Brian? Hold on. Let me see. Elroy, Brian, Cayman. Appointed as Deputy Director, Cayman Education. Yeah, Brian. He says Ryan. Lord have mercy. Okay.
Director of Human Resources for Ministry of Education and Training, Mrs. Kimari Fletcher Barrett. Director for the Department of Education Services, Mr. Mark Ray. Deputy Director for the Department of Education Services, Dr. Richard Wildman. Acting Deputy Director for the Department of Education Services, Mrs. Tammy Hopkins. Senior School Improvement Officer, Ms. Janice Headley. Acting Senior School Improvement Officers, Ms. Deidre Tingle, Mr. John Clark, Mr. Devon Bowen. other members of the Ministry of Education and Training and Department of Education Services staff, Principal, Clifton Hunter High School, Dr. Valence Buchanan, keynote speaker, Dr. Brianna Bodden, sponsor.
All right, we're going to stop it there. Somebody said in France is not HE, he is the Honorable DG. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Roy Tatum, that's his first name, but everyone calls him Roy. This is an expletive joke. Yes, he sure did. So we've gotten some clarity. Let me tell you now where the Royston really comes in. We've had our sleuth detectives this morning on the job, and apparently Roy Tatum's first name is Royston, but like the person said, everybody calls him Roy. So how him and Minister Anglin, who is now I'm all confused. I'm about to say Royston too. Ralston becomes Royston. OMG. Nosa? Okay, this person says, I personally believe that any speech involved with addressing elected officials ought to go straight to the cabinet office for their review and markup. How embarrassing. Well, I don't even know if the cabinet office is the one. I'm going to tell you what I think about this whole fiasco now, right? Because I don't know that the cabinet office is the one who should even do this. But one thing I do know is that these graduation ceremonies need to come under some sort of organizational heading where they are organized by somebody else. Because this is just a blinkety blink show, right? So evidently, give me 1 second here and I'll tell you. Let me see here. Let me see. Yes. So Roy Tatum's name is in fact Royston Roy Tatum. So that's where that came from. But that has nothing to do with Ralston Anglin. And like I said, the one name I would have thought you had better got right that night was the minister of your ministry, the Minister of Education of all people. And of course they were sitting there, not, oh my God, what a hot mess. All right, so let me just see here now. I got another comment. I just want to vet this one a little bit. Right, so this person says, this was the worst graduation in the history of Cayman. Teachers made it about themselves. So we haven't even gotten to those speeches yet. Didn't have protocol names right. Ooh, should we listen to what they said about themselves? Poorly organized, some special awards without names, special awards without names, called ministers who weren't in attendance to make presentations. No way. Oh my God, we have to keep going. We have to keep listening. Staff and students not singing the national song, called Mr. Anglin, the minister, Royston Anglin, later called Tatum, Ralston Tatum, were almost 4 hours, 10 seconds of students and their families left as before the ending. Tens of students and their families left before the ending because it was just too long. Graduations and school leaving ceremonies should be Caymanized and standardized, and they will also need to be shortened. It's ridiculous to have a primary school leaving ceremony, well, this is high school, last 3+ hours. Keynote speakers need to be vetted as well, as John Gray High School was an absolute shit show. We're off air now. Phew. Oh my God. So John Gray's keynote speaker was a shit show too? Lord have mercy.
And government members, staff of CHHS, graduates of the Clifton Hunter High
Yeah, but
School,
5-10 minutes just trying to get through all that.
family, and friends here and via Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Tonight, we gather not merely to mark the passage of time, but to honor a remarkable journey.
All right, let's see if we can fast forward. Oh boy, poor Ralston. Ralston look like he lost a few pounds though. What's going on?
Protocol having been established,
Yes, sir.
I promise you, young people, I won't be long.
Uh-huh.
I'm young enough to remember being in your shoes and not wanting to sit through long, boring speeches from adults. Am I correct?
Well,
And
that
so
didn't matter. They still got long boring
this-
speeches.
on this occasion, I want to acknowledge the protocol having been established and offer but a few nuggets of advice to you on
All right, so let's
much
fast forward.
more.
Ready to lift you into the world. And your horizons?
So which
Your
one?
journey is just beginning, and the world awaits your
Dr.
brilliance.
Valence
Thank
Buchanan.
you.
All right. So I want to know which ones made it about themselves, and they were calling people to give awards that were not there. Who did they
Malcolm
call?
Eden to present this award.
Who?
The Ethics Award is sponsored by Audiophile and is presented to, none other than Ava Brown.
Okay, go on, Sylvia.
Tatum, congratulations, Azaria. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you hold your applause until after so we can hear the names of the graduates who are coming up.
What is with the gloves, Mamacita? Ooh, that outfit is giving too much. No, honey child. I mean, I love your expressiveness, but that big flower on your shoulder, the earrings, the glitter eyelashes, the hairdo, and the gloves and all the little sequins and glitter in the outfit, it is a bit much. Wow, she went all out in this outfit, I can tell you all that. Okay, honey child. Yes, sir.
Congratulations, students. Thank you, Ms. Rivers. Outstanding Community Service Award. This award goes to the student with the most community service hours. This is sponsored by the Office of the Red Bay MP. The award goes to Azaria Burton. I invite Mr. Ralston Tatum, MP for Red Bay, to present this award.
Okay, so who did they call that wasn't there? I'm still waiting to hear that bit.
The Deputy Principals Awards. These awards are sponsored by the Clifton Hunter Parent Teachers Association.
Okay.
They are given to students who notably demonstrated the values of sportsmanship, leadership, and perseverance, and consistently made academics proud through outstanding achievements in academics and/or extracurricular activities. I invite Honorable Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes, Minister of Health, Environment, and Sustainability, to present these awards. The recipients are Jade Allen,
So this is where they call her. So they call her and apparently she's not there. So they didn't know that she wasn't attending. Again, this is a proper shit show. I mean, not for nothing, but it is. So no one said to them, I'm sure she tendered her apologies. I wasn't even sure if she's on island. I think she had gone off island for some training or something, but she wasn't there. So then you hear them say, oh, she's not here. So let's listen to this.
to present these awards.
Uh-huh.
The recipients are
Everybody
Jade
looking around. Where
Allen.
is she? And then he's told on stage she's not there.
She's not here, so can you just ask somebody else? Just ask CEO Kato to come to see.
So they hear them saying she's not here. So just ask somebody else. Ask Tanya Cacho. But Minister Nicholas Acosta, Honorable Nicholas Acosta, had already stood up, and they're whispering, and you can hear it all in the microphone. They don't know how to mute that microphone, honey chill. You gotta have a mute button. But they're saying, "Oh, ask somebody else, like maybe it's Tanya Cacho." So they didn't know all this. Lord Jesus.
Chief Officer. I invite Chief Officer Cacho.
Okay, and then Nick is like, "Okay, well, I was filling in, but all right then. If you don't want me, come on up, Tanya."
Other recipients are Christina O'Connor.
That is so weird. I mean, they already had the minister standing up. Why not just allow the minister to continue? That's like so weird. Like I would have just said, yeah, okay. I mean, he stood up and took charge of it. Lord Jesus, no sir.
And Renaya Beach.
Christabel McCoy says he received his doctorate from the last full moon. Talking about John. Oh, well, Autumn Johnson says, here we go again, bringing down someone because he is a NU Caymanian. What's a NU Caymanian? What does that stand for? No, this isn't about that. This is not about that. This is about you are an education. I don't even know who he is as MC, but I'm assuming he's somebody in education, and you don't even vet your speech properly. As Miss Marva says, and I agree with Miss Marva, she says, I can assure you that this information was not written as he was calling it out. It's called practice and review your script frequently. This has nothing to do with him being Caymanian or not Caymanian. I can assure you that if he was a Caymanian, I would be raking his ass over the coal the same way. Oh, and new Caymanian, supposed to be new Caymanian? I don't even know who the fuck he is. I don't know if, he's a new Caymanian, or that would be news to me. It don't make no difference. Okay? Let's have some standards in education. When you're asking young people you're graduating, you're entering this new phase of life, whatever. This is how you're teaching young people how to even prepare and get up and do a presentation? Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves getting on here putting these kind of foolish comments up. This is ridiculous. Island Days says, I can say without fear of contradiction, whenever political leaders are attending public functions in the USA, the Office of the Chief Protocol ensures that the name, titles, order of precedence is correct. Well, here's the thing. Right now in the Cayman Islands, we don't have a Chief Protocol Officer. That's a whole other hot mess. Y'all will have to ask Sam Rose why that is. But there is none at the moment. Because, again, of foolishness. Somebody says John is a doctor of donkeyism. You better believe it. Someone said it must be a witch doctor. That's funny. That is hilarious, actually. A witch doctor. Was he nervous? All these mistakes? I don't know. This is someone who, this goes beyond nervousness. This is someone who simply did not practice that speech. Yeah, what a hot mess. Anyway, Marshall says, you mean to tell me that they could not have found an old retired Caymanian to be the MC for the night? I'm sure they would have done the job justice. Listen, it's not even about that. It is you got to get it right. You know what I'm saying? If a Caymanian had gotten it wrong, I would be like, what the hell as well? Tartarian says our education system is doomed. Does he still have a job after this? Is he a real teacher? I have no clue who he is. I don't know.
Thank you very much. The Leadership Award this year is sponsored by Cayman National Bank. The award goes to the graduating student who most exemplifies initiative, positive role modeling, the ability to command the respect of teachers and peers, evidence of being an independent thinker, and setting high standards for self. I now invite Mr. Phil Jackson of Cayman National Bank to present this award. The award goes to Chloe Reed. Thank you, Mr. Jackson, and congratulations to all the students. The Clifton Hunter High School Band will now perform an item of music entitled You Raise Me Up.
Balanced time perspective, which means a person can think about the good old times and then spiritual or spiritual.
What a mess.
Who most actively fulfill the vision of the council. I invite Honorable Nicholas Da Costa, MP, to present this award. This year's recipient is Chloe Reed.
Ooh, Chloe. She was making this award. Go, Chloe. Go, Chloe. I hear you, Bobo. Chloe did well.
Mr. Ralston Tatum to present this award.
Yes,
the award goes to Drayson Da Costa. Thank you, Mr. Tatum. Congratulations, Drayson. The Rise Girls Recognition Award. This award is sponsored by Ms. Heather Bodden, MP for Savannah. Ms. Bodden will do this presentation. The award goes to Shianti Sterling.
Anyway. Well done, young man. Well done. Jambo.
Thank you, Mr. Miles. Well done, Mr. Cohen. I now ask Mr. Gardner to announce the rest of the School Builders Award.
All right, let's skip forward a little bit here. We got some more comments coming in. This person said, Perlina should be honorable. Protocol has a list of how to address persons. It's available to anyone who asks. The list also tells you the order in which to address persons. The outfit is giving a child who's been allowed to dress themselves for the first time. Oh, God, Lord, have mercy. Mercy, mercy me. Lord God. That would be my Gigi. Dressing herself, a child, she'd be layering it. The question really is who provided the information for Mr. Bromfield to read in his speech? Someone provided very incorrect information, and NU Caymanian is supposed to be New Caymanian. Oh, okay. With respect, Sandra, mess is an understatement, says Jess. Lord.
With the Award for Excellence in the Arts. Invite Ms. Jonelle Ebanks to present this award to the top student in the arts.
Okay.
The Award for Excellence in the Arts is sponsored by the family of the late David Jonathan Ebanks Jr. This year, the award goes to Mia Groves. Congratulations, Mia, and thank you, Ms. Ebanks. The Jean Thompson Computer Science Award. Invite Mr. Richard Parchment to present the Computer Science Awards. This award is sponsored by Tech Cayman and is awarded to the student. Thank you, Mr. Saunders, and congratulations, Jade. The Mathematics Award. This student is given high school sportsmanship awards, and it is
2 hours in. This just haven't even started yet. Here's John. He can't even figure out how to hold it. Lord Jesus, you know this one always got to be comedic relief. Hold on. Let's check out John now. He gets his award.
Ariella Bodden.
Okay, all right. Let's watch John.
She earned the top results during 2023-2024 for CSEC Integrated Science, and this also has a cash award of $500.
All right, where's John? Where's John?
Janelle Frederick. She also earned the top result during the Year 11 exam sitting, 2023-2024 for BTech Creative Media Studies. This award...
Hold on, where's John? Did we miss him? Let's back it up a little bit here.
DeAndre Beckford.
To Mr. Godard.
Mr. Godard? It's not Godard? Which Godard are we talking about? Oh, Goddard, Chris Goddard. What do you call him? No, sir.
Christina O'Connor. And Teroy and Teran Tamal.
All right, so John was at 142. We got to back it up a little bit. Hold on.
We appreciate
Honorable Isaac Rankin.
Thank you, Honorable Rankin. Congratulations. Ashley. Thank you, Mr. McTaggart. Congratulations, Chloe. CHHS Humanities Department Award. This award is given to the most outstanding performer in the humanities department. This is sponsored by Mr. Dwayne Seymour, MP, and he will present this award to
Okay.
Sarah Medina.
No, ma'am. You gotta be the drama teacher. Y'all lying about she's the English teacher. She is the drama teacher. This is not the Oscars. Mhm. Now look at John John. Here we go. Always special. Oh, it wasn't that one. Hold on.
Seymour.
That'll be the next one. Hold on.
Congratulations, Miss Medina.
Which next one did he give? He had to turn it to him.
National Youth Culinary Arts Award, sponsored by the National Youth Culinary Program. This is awarded to the student who achieved the second place in the World Barbecue
hold on.
Pork Rib Competition
Barbecue
in
pork rib? Go on,
2025
honey, child.
Bob Zappa Costa Classic winner. I invite Mr. James Miles to present this award.
Hold
It's a
on.
great pleasure that I
went back too far. My apologies.
The Clifton Hunter High School 2025 High Honors recipients are Jade Allen, Jade earned the top results during the Year 11 exam sitting in 2023-2024 for CSEC History. I invite Mr. Dwayne Seymour, MP, to present this award. DeAndre Beckford. DeAndre earned the top results during the Year 11 exam sitting 2023-2024 for CSEC Economics. This is sponsored by Honorable Joannie J. Ebanks. I invite Honorable Ebanks to present this award.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. What just happened there? I thought she said John John was presenting it, but I see the Minister of Education did it. What did I miss?
The Clifton Hunter High School 2025 High Honors recipients are Jade Allen, Jade earned the top results during the Year 11 exam sitting in 2023-2024 for CSEC History. I invite Mr. Dwayne Seymour, MP, to present this award.
Yeah, that's not Dwayne Seymour. Okay, I'm confused. The minister's sitting. Well, you know.
DeAndre Beckford.
You know, at this point, Ralston is like, "What the actual fuck is going on here tonight?" You not see the body language just from. Let's just do a micro. This is what we call micro body language. Look at Ralston. Ralston's like, really, woman. You calling Dwayne Seymour? You don't see me stand up here as minister.
The Clifton Hunter High School 2025 High Honors recipients are Jade Allen, Jade earned the top results during the Year 11 exam sitting in 2023-2024 for CSEC History.
No, sir.
I invite Mr. Dwayne Seymour, MP, to present this award.
It was just presented by the minister. What the hell? Look at Ralston. You see how he fold his hands in front of him and he twiddling his fingers? he is saying,
Dion,
I can tell you right now. Let me tell you something. That Minister of Education, because Ralston don't like no foolishness. I can tell you that that man is sitting there twiddling his fingers. Let me imagine what actually happened. He's sitting there twiddling his fingers. Like, what the fuck is actually going on at this graduation here tonight? Are these people serious? That was the look that. Ooh, he's like, do I look like John Dwayne Seymour to you? I'm actually an educated man, and I am Minister of Education. How can you get it wrong?
Andre Beckford.
Look at hold on. Look at the little expression on Isaac's face.
I invite Mr. Dwayne Seymour MP to present.
Look at the expression on DaCosta's face. Nicholas DaCosta. Look at his face right here when she says that. And the minister's like, oh my God, he's rolling his eyes. And then
DeAndre Beckford.
Lord Jesus, good morning. Good morning.
Oh my God, I'm watching. I feel sad for the kids, all those graduates. Where is the job? Where's the job coming from? That's what I want to know. You better open that platform to take on some of them. That's all I can tell you. Where's the job coming from? Tell me. Where? All these children that graduate, where is the job, Sandy? Can you say? Ralston look like he want to run back to SB. My God.
Well, I hope to God they were doing a better job in the classroom because, Lord, this is deplorable.
I said, Ralston want to run. You don't see that?
Ay.
My poor Riley, he looked like he lost.
Mm-hmm.
And then Julie, my Julie, I don't know whether they want to give her honor or not. They can keep it. But my Juju is my Juju.
What a mess.
I don't care what they want to do. But all I'm concerned about is those children. Where the job coming from?
Well,
where?
I can tell you one thing. If we don't raise our standards overall, they're not going to be eligible for no jobs. That's the first thing. Anyway, my dear, leave me there.
I can see that. I can see that. All the coming out with graduate and honor and this and that, I can see that those some of them is just fake. Trust me, my God.
All right, honey. Thank you.
Anyway, you all take care. I keep calm today.
Yes,
until
we're
next
so
time.
happy.
Don't worry. Don't think I'm finished with you all. You know, I'm
Lord,
not finished. I'm waiting to steam up again. And it's going to be worse this time. All right?
All right, baby.
Okay. All right.
Let's continue. Everybody loves a good shit show every once in a while.
DeAndre earned the top results during the Year 11 exam sitting 2023-2024 for CSEC Economics. This is sponsored by Honorable Joannie J. Ebanks. I invite Honorable Ebanks to present this award.
That young man.
Rania Beach. (2023-2024) for CSEC Physical Education and Sports.
He's in that line right there.
Anyway, there's one where John was fumbling with the award, having it reversed and whatever, clicking.
He's in that line right there. We want Edward Miller to present the Herald Award for
Who's all these mic people giving instructions?
So we want Speaker to present.
Do they not know that everybody can hear them?
Mr. Miller, Speaker to present to Ms. Miller.
Hear what they say? We want Mr. Miller to da-da-da-da-da. No, honey child, if you giving instructions and changing things up from what is there, which to be fair to the young lady who's giving out the awards, these last minute changes will throw you off. So I must say, even if she was prepared coming up and telling her, oh, we're gonna make this change in terms of who give it, why is this in flux? Like y'all needed to figure this out beforehand. Damien said this is embarrassing to his position. It is embarrassing. This does not look like this is well organized at all.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Maria Campbell. Mariah Campbell.
Oh God, she got the student's name wrong. She corrected her. Ooh, that girl, she not gonna take no shit from nobody. She's like, my name is Mariah, not no Maria. Lord God, how'd she get Maria from Mariah? I'm guessing they don't know all the students, but. Yeah.
Ilani Brooks.
Mariah was like, not today, Bobo. Loving her curls.
Ava Brown.
I love her curls. That young lady's so pretty.
She earned the top result during the Year 11 exam sitting 2023-2024 for CSEC Physical Education and Sports, sponsored by Mrs. Lacey Barnes-Riley. I invite Mrs. Barnes-Riley to present this award. Amoya Burton. Kristen Campbell. Kristen earned the top result during the Year 11 exam sitting 2023-2024 for CSEC Additional Math and GCSE Additional Math. This is sponsored by the Credit Union, and I invite Mr. Basil Scott, Manager of the Credit Union Services, to make this presentation. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Maria Campbell. Mariah Campbell. She earned the top result during the Year 11 sitting 2023-2024 for CSEC Integrated Science and CSEC EDPM. I invite Honorable Wayne Panton, who sponsors all the science awards, to present the Integrated Science Award. Following that, I will invite Dr. Lancelot Barnes, Manager of ICT Department in the Ministry of Education, to present the EDPM Award sponsored by the Ministry of Education.
Yes,
please.
He rolling his head again. Let's back up. Something just happened. The minister rolling his head and turning his back. This is when you know the minister not happy. He rolled his head and turned his back. So let's back it up a little bit here. Let's see what just went down, because something went down again. Lord Jesus, hold on. What went down? Okay, watch for it. Nice, okay.
Thank you, Kaylin. Thank you, Honorable Panton. Tristan Chambers.
Let's see what happens here.
Back to the stage, please.
Somebody must come back to the stage, please. Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'd like to call Maria Campbell back to the stage, please.
Okay.
Mr. Barnes will make his presentation for the EDPM Award. Luke Isaac Charles. Jadon Connor. Thank you, Minister Anglin. I now invite Mr. Jerome McCoy to continue with the presentations of the Level 2 High Honors Awards. Thank you, Kaylin. Thank you, Honorable Panton. Tristan Chambers.
Maria Campbell back to the stage, please. Maria Campbell, because Langston.
I'd like to call Maria Campbell back to the stage, please.
Yep, that's what it was. You see how he rolled his head back, turned his back like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? What on earth are they doing?
Mr. Barnes will make his presentation for the EDPM Award.
Yes, sir. Anyway, apparently, I'm told that we could go on.
Luke Isaac Charles.
I'm told we could go on.
Recognized for achieving second place on CSEC Regional Merit.
And it only becomes more and more obvious that this event, and we're still only 2 minutes and 19 in, so it becomes obvious that much more needs to be done. Wow. Ay. Hot mess. OMG. All right, let me see here now. A few more messages coming in. Let me see. Okay. All right, a few more messages, and then we're going to wrap things up. This person said, did he just arrive on island along with who wrote the speech? What a hot mess. As a past president of TCHT students, I'm absolutely embarrassed. These poor kids, here we go again. They need to do this shit, because he a Jamaican or New Caymanian. It's a fucking embarrassing mess. What the fuck, him being a New Caymanian, got to do with anything? That's why he should have ensured he got this right. You know, whenever people come with this argument about it's because they're a New Caymanian, or we picking on them because they're Jamaican. Listen, y'all need to do better. Okay? Some of the most eloquent speakers that I have ever met, and I'm telling you because I was a member of Toastmasters, were actually Jamaicans. This has nothing to do with this shit show that we see happening here. They've gotten names wrong. They have messed up ministerial names, positions, titles, student names. They didn't know who wasn't even in attendance for awards. What does that? You're trying to say that Jamaicans, this is what they do in their own country? Well, I'd hope to God not. This was just something that somebody threw together at the very last minute. Someone said Chris Saunders was laughing like, what the heck? Isn't that Miss Linda McField, the protocol officer there in the background? Some people's contracts are not going to get renewed because of the CHHS 2025 graduation. What type of school are they running at CHHS? They literally embarrassed the minister and chief officer of education. And, you know, I heard that there were some glitches with John Gray as well, but apparently John Gray was nowhere near as bad as that. This person says, morning, Sandy, you were on vacation. I went on vacation. Now I'm back. Why do they feel the need to have all the ministers there? Only God knows. I agree that even the preschool kids' graduations are ridiculously long. Have a nice day. Another commenter says, good morning, Sandy. Yes, these graduation ceremonies need to be organized and shorter, as they can be up to 11 p.m. Also, every person in the community wants to give an award, which takes up too much time and stage. All of these newcomers just want to be recognized themselves. It's too much. These young people have their night planned for family outings and celebrations. And when they keep them there too long, they can't go anywhere can't go anywhere due to the long speeches long drawn out speeches and awards. Hot tamales. What a mess. No, sir. Let me see. Okay, show soon end. All right, folks. I don't know. It's horrible. It is embarrassing. Good morning. Who is that Christmas tree presenting the school awards? What a scary mess. They called Kathy to present and she wasn't there. Nick had to step in, and then she called Satanya. It was clearly not well organized. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, except that this was a hot mess. Now, someone said that this is used as an opportunity to outdo each other in the dress department, and they have shown me outfits from previous years where they got very, very colorful. Now, I'm all for artistic expression, but, this one actually not too bad. I mean, the neck piece, if she took that away, this would actually be very elegant, I think. I can't see the rest of it. Somebody said one year, someone doing the awards showed up in something that you could see right through, like sheer dress, I guess. I mean, y'all need to do better. That's all I can say. All right. Carrie says they didn't do their fucking homework. That's what we get, says Jean-Eric. We soon get more too. Miss Nola says Marshall Young came in was the MC at John Gray, and he was a disaster. Mistake after mistake. The passionate education minister and all other ministers and MPs look like they were forced to attend. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. This needs to be organized better. This one got a lot of complaints. I didn't look at John Gray, but if what you're saying is true, wow. Ellard says, I don't understand why everyone always complains that there are too many Jamaicans dominating our education, police, and hospital. You still complain that there are the 3 worst run and complained about ministries. Hashtag we can do bad all by ourselves. Hashtag change it. Well, we actually didn't mention anything about them being Jamaicans. That was a Jamaican that came in the comment section and felt the need to do so. We were just saying that this is a shit show. Nobody mentioned no nationalities until the Jamaican showed up with a chip on his shoulder. Okay. Someone says, can you call the minister, Ralston? Saunders should laugh. They his people, says this one person. OMG. Jonathan says it's obvious that woman behind the podium spent 99% of her energy and putting together that ghetto fabulous clowns ensemble. Stop it. Jonathan, behave. And 1% of their time concentrating on the actual task at hand. Oh my God. Jonathan, I can't even with you. Back of the classroom, sir. Back of the classroom. Hashtag that part, LMAO, says Gabby. All right, I don't know. I don't have the time to go through the John Gray one. Just fix it, Jesus. Now listen, to be fair to the principal at Clifton Hunter, one of my sources reveal that years ago, she actually made the recommendation to the current ministry, that would be Juliana O'Connor and O'Connor Connolly, and I guess DES, that the schools should not be the ones to plan this event and do all this work in any event. They need to have a set protocol approved graduation scheduled scheme. As somebody rightfully said earlier, speech, everything, and they should be the ones to keep it within a tight timeline and all that sort of stuff. Giving out all these awards on the night of is ridiculous. I think you pare it down to maybe 5 or 10 top awards. You know, you get an award for blinking the right way. It's just too much. Like maybe do a separate award ceremony that you can have on a day that's not the actual graduation day. I don't know how to figure that out. Print it in a booklet so everybody can see. You know, that's good for TV, extra show. But the graduation ceremony being over 3 hours, almost 4 hours, is too much. That's ridiculous. Take a book from the Emmys and the Oscars. They do like pre-awards before the big ones to cut down on the time. Anyway, that's all she wrote, folks. It's a hot mess and then some. Somebody said, why is all the government there for graduation? They normally show up. You know, it's to encourage our young people. My apologies, that our government officials are interested in their performance and we want to see them do well. So, you know, that's why they tend to show up. All right, honey child. That is all she wrote. You guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. It is Tuesday already. So, yes, somebody says have another award as one, like one of the assembly mornings. Yeah, there's another way to figure out all these awards. Tropical storm has been formed. Oh, Jesus. Get ready, folks. Please, please, please. Oh, yes. Let me, Live Happy says, pray for the National Heroes Award. Let me say that the nomination has been extended for the National Heroes Awards, which means they probably didn't get enough nominees. So they'd like for you to nominate people. So I'm going to play these again. This one is a bit tough, I think, is what it is. Infrastructure, right? To really talk about someone who has built something. Oh, you're calling just as I'm about to hang up. Hello, caller.
Hey, good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Tina.
Morning, morning, morning.
Morning. Just want to make a quick comment in regards to, I know the topic that was being discussed. I watched some of it, particularly the introduction of protocol of all of our ministers, you know, the whole government department that attends. And I caught some of the comments that were made, and I think I want to be fair right now when I say what I say. So first and foremost, I don't think any ministers or any government officials are forced to attend.
No, they want to be there.
Invitations are, yes, invitations are sent out. And I am glad that our government officials take the time, especially our education minister, take the time to attend our graduations. Because I have known in the past, over the past couple of years, there were many graduations that the education minister did not attend for whatever reasons. And so I appreciate all of those ministers being there and coming and honoring and being part of the celebration of our children. As an individual, I'm very involved in the schools and the PTAs and being part of the graduation ceremony for many, many years. And as an individual that to attend functions and have to introduce a group of people, this is where probably the government falls short in helping those teachers know who they're introducing. It should be made mandatory, and this is what I always say, you put a name with a face. So you have teachers getting up there that probably really don't even know, you see what I'm saying? They don't even know this face goes with this name. And this is where the problem lies. That is something that should be made mandatory, that our teachers learn who are, when did we have this election this year? April, May? By now, all of our teachers should be familiar to know this is who our new education minister is. This is who our new minister of whatever, you know, ministry is. And I know that prior to the last term, before 2021, protocol used to send out posters. And I said this many times during the last term. I said this to protocol and to ministers. I'm like, what is happening with that poster that has all of our ministers and all of our government officials?
When did you say that was the last time? Sorry, when was the last time you saw it?
the last time I saw it, it wasn't certainly not the last term. So it wasn't between 2021 and 2025. Because if they had, personally, they would not have been able to keep up with doing the poster, because I think we had a change in government 3 times during that 4 years, if I stand to be corrected. But no posters went out for that term, 2021 to 2025. There was no protocol posters, because normally these posters are put up like in all of the classrooms, all of that sort of stuff. So there was nothing for that whole term. Nothing has even been produced for this term as yet. And I think something like this should be done immediately. So it's not just for students to learn who these persons are, because I know for a fact we have at John Gray High School, we have official members whose kids, attend the school. And, we've had them come to the school, and I say to children, hey, listen, that is one of our ministers, and this is her name, that sort of stuff. We don't even have these posters anymore in our schools to help even teachers learn. This is, and maybe we don't need the poster to help them learn. They should learn these faces. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I know that on the Tuesday night, and I can call this name out. I know that Miss Heather, she didn't walk in with the official group, and they were actually, the group on the stage when they were walking in. She came in, and people run late for many reasons, so we can't, argue with that. And she came in a little late, but the MC acknowledged her once she came. He went back and acknowledged her that she now was there. So my thing is that, and I'm sure the reason why he was able to do that is because he knew, hey, this is Miss Heather Bodden that just walked in, and she's one of our MPs. I'm saying that to say these people need to know this name goes with that face. And those scripts that they read from, those scripts are not just prepared on the day of the event. Those scripts are prepared well in advance. And if you're going to be the MC for the evening, then hey, sit down in front of a mirror, read through it, get to know who these people are, familiarize yourself with the script. That's what I've been taught to do. So that, many times you can lift your head up off of the script and look straight into the camera, look at the audience. So the information, the correct information is there. They just need to do their homework, and that's it. And besides all of that, yes, the graduations are a bit long, and I think it is something that needs to be reviewed as well to cut down on the time, because you cannot hold these young people attention span for 3 hours and 4 hours. I can tell you that. And families just want to go home. Now, on Thursday was a good day for graduation because of the fact that there was no school, even though families worked, but at least, nothing was in a rush for it. So that was a good day for graduation. And it did start early. It started at 5 p.m. So, but still, there's a lot of work that can be done and improvement. But yes, that's all I have to say in regards to some of the comments. Have yourself a great day.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
All
right, darling.
All right. Thanks.
So yeah, some improvements needed, and as they say, proof is in the pudding. All right, Damien says, can the person who handmade the Little Cayman airfield be nominated? I know he's passed on, but maybe his family can collect. I'm sure it will nominate him. Somebody's got to do the nomination. Government doesn't do the nomination. This is for you all to do. So yes, the person does not have to be alive. There's different criteria. So I'm going to go ahead and remind you guys of what the requirements are, and hopefully, why you want to nominate someone, and then also how to go about the nomination process as well. Since the deadline has been extended, this is a good opportunity for you to nominate someone or encourage somebody else to do it, because yes, you will have to go and do the work online. So here we go, folks.
Infrastructure is more than roads and buildings. It's our lifeline.
From pioneers who paved the first paths to today's crews and engineers who keep us going.
They power hospitals, connect families, and help us after natural disasters.
Let's honor the people behind Cayman's progress.
Nominate someone who built or maintained our Cayman Islands
at gov.ky/YSCH. Click Nominate today.
All right, folks. I've got some tickets to give away. Who wants to win something? Mm-hmm. Who does not like a good prize? All of you who held in there. The Cayman Islands Folk Singers Concert is coming up at the Hartwell Theater. What is that buzzing sound? Like somebody's calling, but I don't see which phone is ringing. All right. Folk Singers Concert, folks. Hartwell Theater this Friday and Saturday. Doors open 6:30 p.m. on Friday and 5:30 p.m. on Saturday. I have both kids tickets and adult tickets available. I don't know if you've seen the folk singers lately, but they're actually really good. I love their singing. So who would like to win a ticket? Let's make it fun. 9362626 is the telephone number that you're going to have to call. And I'm going to do some trivia questions to see how much you guys have been paying attention to today's show. So the first question, and you can tell me, children are 5 to 17 years old, seniors 65 plus, they get the this ticket, and then adults would be if you're 17 to 64. All right. So question number one, the teacher who gave out some of the awards, what subject? I'm going to show you her picture here now. She was dressed colorfully. Yes. What subject did we say that she teaches? What subject does she teach? 9362626. Win yourself a ticket to the Cayman Islands Folk Singers Concert coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Yes, we've got a winner. And what I'm going to take what's up today too, because some of y'all not calling. Congrats. Which you need an adult ticket? Yes, that's right. She is an English teacher. Congrats to Lady T. She typing. All right. Yes, sir. Let's give another one. Good morning, caller.
She's an English teacher.
That's right. You are a winner. You need an adult ticket?
Adult ticket.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to take down your number. And then I'm going to tell you how to go about collecting it. Okay.
All right.
Okay, honey child. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. All right. So you can go Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
All right, dear. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay. Next question. What name? This is showing if you're really paying attention. What name was the Minister of Education referred to as? What name? Was the Minister of Education referred to as? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, 9362626, honey child. Give me a call. Yeah. Oh, you got to give other people a chance to win.
Royston Anglin.
Yes. Do you want another ticket? Or your one ticket is good?
No, I want to my husband.
Oh, what? Well, there you go. All right.
Adult?
Well, yes, 2 adults. Okay, got it.
Thank you.
All right,
Okay,
darling.
bye.
Yes, that's date night right there, girl.
Oh,
Make him pay for dinner because you paid for the show.
That's right.
Congrats.
Bye.
All
Sure.
right. Okay. And all right, that's good. Now, another question. Which member of parliament has an imaginary doctorate? Which member of parliament has an imaginary doctorate, and from what university did we jokingly say that he must have gone to? Which member? Call in. Call in. We got to make it fun. 936-2626. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Morning, John Seymour.
Yes. And what university did we say he must have went to?
Donkey University.
Yes. Congratulations, honey child. All right. We're doing one adult ticket for you.
Yes, please.
Wonderful. Have you ever been to a folk singers concert before?
No, ma'am.
Oh, they're really good. Yes, they've got good harmony.
Thank you.
Yes, amazing. So you can do that Friday or Saturday night. Something to do this weekend. Beautiful. You're welcome, darling.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, let's do one more and then we can give away more tomorrow. All right, let's do another. Let me see here. Let's see if you've been paying attention to what else is going on in the news. Okay. What country, got to make sure y'all keep up with the news now. What country in the Caribbean, okay, is being attacked at the moment? Well, the nations of that country, the nationals of that country, I should say, is being attacked at the moment, in the Caribbean, what country? By the Trump administration. This one should be easy if you have been paying attention to the news. What country is having its citizens attacked by the Trump administration? And by extension, the country, as far as I'm concerned, is under attack. They're even moving military vessels in the area, getting closer. What country is that? Yes, bonus points if you think you know why. Not for nothing, but 936-2626, final question of the day. Good morning, caller.
Colombia.
No, not Colombia. Oh, try again. Good morning, caller.
Good morning again, Venezuela.
Hi. Venezuela is the correct answer. You taking your husband or what?
No, donate it to the next caller.
Oh, we're going to donate it to the next caller. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. So let's see. The next caller. Good morning, caller. You just got yourself a donated ticket. How's that?
That sounds good.
Beautiful. Congrats.
Congrats. Thank you.
All right, my dear.
Okay.
So that one is donated. Got it. All right.
Yep.
Very good.
Bye.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll do the other giveaways. We got a few more adult tickets left in the book, and then we got some children's tickets. Take the kids. Yes, kids would love this. All right, so there we go. Cayman Island Folk Singers Concert. This one is called Memories and Melody, Stories and Songs to Remember, Friday the 24th of October and Saturday the 25th of October. The Friday showing is at 7 p.m. at the Hartwell Theater. The Saturday one is at 6 p.m. and doors open basically half an hour beforehand. So make sure you get there early and get yourself a good seat. All right, congratulations to those winners. We will have more giveaways tomorrow. And folks, Christmas is right around the corner. Heard Damien talk about Panama. Gabby, nope, not Cuba. Oh, honey child, I don't think they'd try it with Cuba, because Cuba would listen to me. Cuba would probably find a missile from the 1960s and shoot at him. Oh my gosh. What a hot mess. All right, good folks. Hope you guys have Trinidad. No, close though, because Trinidad kind of getting in the mix. Like two of their people were on the last vessel to have gotten shot. So two of their people were killed. Okay. All right, good folks. That's all we got for you. Go ahead and nominate. The deadline for the National Recognition Awards have been extended to the end of the month. So you got a little bit more time. Please go ahead and do your submissions. We'll watch a video now on how easy it is to do the submission.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage is pleased to announce that the nominations for the 2026 National Recognition Awards are now open. Nominate individuals and groups who played a key role in developing the Cayman Islands' physical infrastructure. The categories include landmark leaders, infrastructure innovators, and the builders of Cayman. Visit gov.ky/YSCH. Click on the nominate button to make a nomination. Here is a step-by-step guide to fill out the form. Before starting, please read the instructions, the award categories, and the eligibility criteria. Step 1. Enter your personal information and select the award category for the person or group you are nominating. Click Yes to confirm that your nominee meets the criteria. Step 2. Enter the nominee's full name, date of birth, and district. Indicate their current status, whether living or deceased, and ensure you have the current contact information for your nominee and their next of kin. Fill out the submission detail and provide any supporting documents and a reference to support your nomination. Step 3. Review your submission and make any changes by clicking the previous button. When you are ready, confirm and agree to the terms and click Submit Form to make your nomination. A thank you notice will confirm that the nomination was received, and a copy of the application will be sent to your email. Your nomination will be reviewed and considered by the National Recognition Awards Committee, and only successful nominees will be contacted and recognized at next year's National Heroes Day ceremony. The deadline to make a nomination is October 15. Remember, you can submit multiple nominations or browse our frequently asked questions by visiting the National Recognition Awards tab at gov.ky/YSCH. We look forward to receiving your nomination.